And welcome back to Payne Park. This is SEN Spirits coverage of the Southwest Football League. It is Derby Day in the Southwest Football League. Bunbury play host to South Bunbury. Should be an absolute cracker. They've got a number of years where they've done some enormous battles here at Payne Park. Nice crowd forming here at Payne Park. The weather has been very good to us. As you might have heard in the back microphone, one of the Colts players just about took a screamer. Macca thought that was pretty good. Macca, did you like that one?
Yeah, the little young fella there, 21, set himself eyes for the footy, outstretched, just couldn't quite hang on to it.
Getting your vocals warmed up for the big game. Now, let's look at some key matchups for Southern Lock and Security. Secure your home or business with Southern Lock and Security. One of the ones that Bunbury will have trouble of matching up on is Jace Cormack. Now, they've been playing him on a wing, but he is dangerous if he goes in the midfield. With the midfield down a bit, he might play through the midfield. He can go forward. He is a serious player.
Oh, he's so versatile, but he has real speed off the mark. He can hit the contest and impact and then emerge with the football. So good, such a good user. And, of course, we know he knows how to milk the high free kick.
He does that. Max Bilsich for the Bulldogs plays a little bit of a sweeping role across that back line, has been used on your wing. Is it inconceivable that he may line up on Cormac?
Well, I tell you what.
It'd be a pretty good contest to watch, wouldn't it?
I just think it might not be a bad move by the Bunbury coach to do that, because at the very least, young Bilsich gets an education in his football journey and will only set him up for better things down the track playing on a player like Cormac.
A big in for South Bunbury is the ruckman, Tom Smith. They've been battling to find someone who could run through the ruck. Pedley is out injured this afternoon for the Tigers, so Tom Smith will make his way into the side. A bit of a presence, young Tom.
Tell us a little bit about him. Croney, has he been playing for Souths or has he come in from out of town?
No, he's a former South Bunbury junior who went to Swans, played, I think he might have squeezed a league game in at Swans, but is sort of right on the verge there. So he's back in the side, played a couple of weeks ago. Looked all right, did the big fella.
Oh, good. I look forward to seeing how he goes about it, and particularly with South Bunbury sort of playing with an undersized ruckman the last year or so. It would be interesting to see what they can do with a genuine ruckman.
Jet Woods and Braden Parsons, two young players for Bunbury, played in the grand final. They would have learned a fair bit about that last year. Yeah. What people forget about these two young men is they're big, but they're not long out of Colts footy, Mac. They had the big season, one last season in the league last year, so they're growing and becoming more and more adaptable to league footballers and really putting their name up.
Absolutely. Parsons in particular, he's impressed me every time I've seen him, every time he's come out. He's extremely tall, and he's very deceptive because he's very agile for his height and very well coordinated. So he's a dangerous player up forward because he can take a good mark and he's got exceptionally good skills. Woods, he never ever stops trying, and I love the way he goes about his football as well. So they are a dangerous duo for the Bulldogs.
Another dangerous man for the Bulldogs is, I know you like the way he plays football, is number 7, Dylan Heasman. Can win a game off his own back. He used to struggled a bit last year against the Tigers when they nailed down on him a little bit, but he'd be looking to find some form against them because he's been in outstanding form so far this season.
He's a very, very experienced footballer, and when I first started calling here in the Southwest, it was like he bought his own ball to every game, and he was everywhere. We know he's got a thumping kick on him. Last year it looked like his role might have changed a bit, just to be that centre forward player, and that affected the amount that he was able to get the ball. Whenever they can get the ball in his hands, it is a good thing for them to do because he's such a good user of it. So it'd be interesting to see if his role has changed back to his previous role this year.
And the Colts has just finished. You might have heard that in our effects, Mike. So it's Bunbury 9-9-63 have defeated South Bunbury 5-5-30. I think that is, isn't it?
5-5-35.
35. Gee, my maths is going well there, mate.
It's a comprehensive win by the Bunbury Bulldogs in the
Not
Colts.
a bad thought, though, is it? The Colts playing before the league because when they start, a lot of people they start very early. The Colts don't get to see the talent that we have coming through. So to have him just before the league game, is a good way for everyone to look at the talent. Yeah, it's a good opportunity in a lot of ways. They don't have to kick the dew off, so they get to play on a drier ground. They get an exposure to a bigger crowd because they don't generally get to play in much of a crowd. And, like you said, the members and the supporters get to see what talent is coming through the ranks and what they've got to look forward to and keep an eye out for these kids. South Bunbury have made their way onto a Payne Park. They come out in a bit of dribs and drabs, and I don't know whether you noticed that, Macca, because there was come out with most of them, and then a few more come after them. So they're out on the park, so it is a lovely day for footy. Let's have a look at Ben Horsman. Is another player, can play through the ruck, forward, back, has been playing mainly as a backman. I should imagine if we're looking for a match-up for Southern Lock and Security, he'd go to Horton? Yeah, I would. I would, absolutely. And the thing about Ben Horsman is you know what you're going to get from him every single week. He's really consistent. He's consistent with effort. He's a very good reader of the play. He is a spare parts man. You can throw him anywhere. You can throw him into the ruck. You can pinch hit him forward. But whatever job you give him, he will apply himself 100%. He is the best team man personified at Ben Horsman. And just the umpires for today, who have made their way onto the ground as well. Kai Skoda, Cameron Valenti and Greg Rolfe will be in the field. Boundaries, Harry Campbell's making his league debut today, Macca, and Jamie Harrison and Blair Driscoll on the boundary. Vance Burton and Damien Schiffelli will do the goals. Just on the umpires, yesterday, Macca, a 16-year-old Toby Potter umpired his league game, first league game in Dunsborough and AMR game. So 16 years old to umpire a league game in the Southwest Football League. Pretty fair effort. That's a big effort, and what a game to umpire, a 4-point ball game. And a shout out to Serena Tassoni too for the Bunbury women's side, who played a 100th game this afternoon. So that's a pretty fair effort considering the women's game hasn't been going on for a great deal of time in the Southwest. Good work. Righto, Macca. We're not very far away from a start here. Great. You don't sound very amped up about this match, mate. I'm waiting to build into it, Macca. Don't worry about that. Are you a little bit tense? Yeah, it's got a bit of a tense feeling about it, hasn't it? You're a bit worried. I'm expecting a lot. You're a bit worried about the Tigers at present. They haven't got the same mojo that they had last year, and they're not quite getting their act together. They've got a few key players out. You're just not sure what they're going to bring today. Yeah, I'm expecting a good contest. Yeah. I want to go to the footy and watch a good contest. I'm expecting that between these two sides. And I was just watching both of them warm up. This is a good time to have a look and just see where your skill levels are sitting and who's on. I know as a coach, Macca, I used to watch the opposition just to see how many balls were hit and how many balls weren't hitting sort of targets. That's interesting. Well, Heisman's just hit the post from 50. I always like to see who's on and who's coming out. Looks like they're ready to play. And if you've got them over in the pocket, scratching their backside and having a laugh and a yak, sometimes that's not the best way to approach your football. But both sides look quite switched on, focused. No one's mucking around, and that augurs well for a good contest when she starts. Bodie Nordell, Ethan Nordell for the Tigers. They are X factors, without a doubt, aren't they? They can do. They're good size. They can do pretty much anything. They need ball in hand early. Yeah, they are. They are terrific assets for South Bunbury to have at their disposal. Ethan Nordell has been one of my favourites for a fair while. I know Bodie spent a bit of time out of the side last year, but he's still a good player in his own right. Ethan plays tall, good user off the ground. He tends to get pushed through the middle after half time a bit, Ethan Nordell, at different times. Ethan Nordell's been used as a pinch ruckman. Now, that's something that Frank Italiano did yesterday with Jamal Maholland, the defender, played through the ruck, and he actually turned the game yesterday. He started to get a lot of the footy around the ground for Kerry Park. So the same sort of scenario is the way Ethan Nordell can be used.
Yeah, so the coaches, both coaches, have got weapons at their disposal and levers that they can pull at any stage to try and change the nature of the game if it's not going right for them. And that is the exciting thing about these sides in this game today, because anything can happen with it, because they do have different things that they can do.
Speaking of the coaches, Troy Hollands, of course, in his second season of league footy as the Bunbury League coach, took his side to a grand final last year. So he'll be learning as he goes along. And Julian Burgess, of course, a premiership coach at Donnybrook and the Tigers. Well-established coach. And you mentioned both coaches. Both these coaches aren't afraid to throw the side around.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing something that just meanders through.
Yeah.
I'd rather get beaten by 10 goals.
Yeah.
If I'm trying something to see how it goes.
Yeah,
So
you see what you can learn about your players, about your team, how adaptable they can be. But like we said, they've both got players that they can use all over the ground at any different stage. That's what makes it so exciting, because it's really unpredictable. And last year it was a perfect example. Bunbury shot out to a 5-goal lead. Souths tweaked a few things and were able to get their way back in and eventually steal it.
One player you know pretty well too, Jai Clark,
Yeah.
started in the midfield, but he's been playing the last couple on a wing.
Yeah.
I reckon he looks a bit more comfortable on that wing position.
He's played majority of his league footy in the waffle on a wing for Perth. He played 50 league games for Perth, and I watched him coming through the Colts for Claremont as well, and I saw him dominate one night down in Albany in one of their country trips against Perth Footy Club on a wing.
On a wing?
Yeah, on a wing.
Well, that's where I don't know a lot about him, but he looks comfortable to me now.
He's the son of Russell Clark, who also played, I think he played about 100-odd league games for Perth.
Denham King, absolute star of this competition.
Yes.
Looks like he's heading forward. He's one of those players that can play through the midfield. He can play through the back. Denham
King heading forward. So he is. So you've got Denham King heading forward,
along with Heisman.
He's a pretty handy player to have around your midfield, Denham King.
And Hamish Hall. That's a fairly handy forward line heading up.
So if you can afford to start Denham King outside of the centre square, that says a fair bit about the Bunbury team to me, Craney.
And Horsman, just quick matchups for Southern Lock and Security. Horsman has gone to Horton. That'll be a very interesting duel between them two big fellas.
What do you call a break-even day or a good day for Horsman on Horton?
He'll always kick a couple, won't he? He's just that.
So if you can keep him to 3, he's had a good day.
I reckon anywhere around there.
And he's another deceptive player, Horton. He looks like he shouldn't be agile, but he is, and he can move a bit. And he can drop him in from outside 50.
Righto, Macca. Time to wind it up a little bit, because it is the Derby Day. Bunbury and South Bunbury, and it's Darren McDonald.
Up they go for Hyundai's end-of-year financial sale, and Bain gets a handball away, but it's intercepted by Parsons. Head over the football was Chitty. He went to ground. It's hot early in the kitchen. Picked up by Fields, gets a handball back to Barraclough, and he sends it inside 50, albeit not that clean. They fight for the footy inside 50. Clark got a handball back to Gorder. He's got to pick it up off the deck, does so. Left foot to the outer side. Getting out there is Cormac. If he can get it, he can go. But no, there's good pressure there from his opponent in Hawks. The Bulldogs win the ball back and then is pushed over the line rugby style.
We spoke about a bit of pressure early, Macca. That's exactly what that was.
Just under the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard for Southwest Isuzu Utes.
Yes, she was very hot. You mentioned hot in the kitchen, and you expect nothing less.
Ball to be brought back into play for cashforcans.com. Parsons brings it to ground. Ball's picked up by the Bulldogs and shovelled forward. Coming at it is Bodie Nordell. He's wrapped up. Siska is
Siska?
The Siska. He's the helmeted player for the Tigers. Coming through there with Bunbury with the clearance. Now it's picked up and doing a fine bit of footwork was Andrews, eventually tackled.
Yeah, just grabbed him high.
And he's won a free kick. But, geez, he was light on his feet, Craney.
The light fantango there, Macca, for you.
On the right foot, into the pocket. It's a bullet. Clears the pack. scooped up off the deck by Versace, but it's only gone as far as Gilchrist, and we know he's all class, and he's banged home the first of the day. So on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, it'll be the Bunbury Bulldogs 1 straight to the South Bunbury Tigers yet to score.
Bulldogs were relentless then, weren't they, Macca? They just kept fighting and fighting as they went through. Gilchrist just almost have a crack for the goal of the day already, Macca. That was fairly handy for the WA Carpet Supermarket goal of the day.
It was. A little snap over the right shoulder, clean pick up off the deck.
That's the key to these big games, isn't it?
Yep.
Clean. You've got to be clean when you pick up the footy.
Absolutely you do. And it is on, both sides are on. But like you said, Bunbury's frontal pressure was enormous. They couldn't get the ball away. It'd be interesting to see if Gorter looks to go longer out of defence from now on. Ball's won down there by Smith. This second ruck knock he's won. Waldrett takes the football, tackled as he gets rid of it. Here comes that player in, that was Andrews again. He's got it up forward. They bring it inside through King. Oh,
he's marked
and it's
it.
found.
Wow.
Found
Dylan Heisman.
It's found Heisman. Don't know how.
How he did that. There was plums and legs everywhere. And Dylan himself did a 360 and ended up with the ball in his chest. And what a start for the Bulldogs.
Like you pulled a rabbit out of the hat. It's a magic trick to do that. Anyway, he's 45 degrees right side for a right footer and will kick from about 35. Kicking towards the port end, no mistake. He is a wonderful kick of the football. Dylan Heisman and Bunbury have jumped out to a 2-goal lead on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Nice kick by Denham King too. We said he moved forward. He was on the 50 in a bit of an awkward spot. Spotted Heisman. They had plenty of South Bunbury around him, and I'm not even quite sure. We'll have to watch the replay just how he took that. But is that a contender already for the CPR outdoor mark of the day?
Absolutely. I would say that. But isn't he a wonderful exponent of the drop punt?
Yeah, and I love that. I know they all kick around the corners, and I say this a lot, Macca, but there's nothing better than going back and watching the drop punt sail through the middle.
So we're back in the middle of the ground for Hyundai's end-of-year financial sale. It's on now. We've moved out of the pre-end-of-year financial sale, and Tim Smith's won his third knock in a row. Waldrett goes to ground. Was it Nordal? Smith picks it up, gets a handball back to Chitty, and there's a free kick for holding the ball against Smith. So the Bulldogs are right on. Handball comes away. That was Barraclough, who eventually gets the clearance out of the ground. He went out towards Ryan, can't take the mark, gathers the ball off the deck. He got it to Borlini. Borlini goes to centre forward off the side of the boot and lucks a fortune, and he finds Field. Field goes inside right to the hot spot. Ball comes to ground off the contest.
Nicely done by Galloway.
And Galloway brings the ball out of defence, and there's a mark.
They're under pressure early, the Tigers.
A mark to Waldrett. Waldrett comes into the corridor. Good mark on the chest there to a teammate there in Bain. He finds Smith, who's looking really good through the middle of the ground, goes inside 50. On the burst there is Jay Wright.
He's had a crack.
And he's gone off the boot. They've saved it. It's off hands, one behind for South Bunbury's first score.
Gee, that was good defence. He had a fair crack at that, did Jay Wright.
And they've brought it back in immediately. A mark to Ryan, still inside D50. Finds a teammate there in Hawks. Still inside, right at the top of D50. They go backwards again. Mark taking it at full-back. And that was Tucker. Tucker then, he got the football to Perks. And now they're away, the Bulldogs. But Smith, beautiful intercept mark. He's impressed me, Craney.
Yeah, he's been good early. As soon as you say that, he'll turn the ball over straight to Denham King.
He intercepts it at centre-half back. He goes long and high through the corridor. Players set themselves. Horton goes whack and smacks into the back of Galloway. Ball comes to ground. It's in a contest. And he balled up just forward to centre for the Bulldogs. Up they go for Cash 4 cans. Smith wins it down again. Only as far got to Bain. Bain handballed it out to Hawkins, and he tried to get it back to Bain. They get it forward, not pretty, but it's now inside 50. Goes over the head of Ethan Nordal. He now has the football in the pocket, puts on the Jets, goes for the dribbler!
Oh, that's twice it's been touched on the goal line.
So Ethan Nordal
Do you know the way it's get touched on the goal line? Put it through the air, Mac.
That's right. Marking out there in front of Jay Wright was Tucker. Now he's forced to go back by hand. Good pressure by the Tigers. They bring it out to the outer side. That's Perks, takes it on the chest. And then he's found that player in Ryan, just outside D50. They're right in front of the Bulldogs social rooms. Looking good, the Bulldogs, as they move the ball down the wing. Gorder underneath it, safe as a house. Goes into the corridor. It's a beautiful kick from Gorder. He got it to Bain. Loves working hard at the coalface. Drives it hard to the hot spot. Ball comes to ground. All players converge on it. There's a contest about 25 metres out from the Tigers' goal. And the umpire's going to ball it up for Hyundai. Up they go. It's taken out of the ruck by Chitty. Working as a true ruck rover. Taken over the line. Be a ball in the right forward pocket for the Tigers, Craney.
Yeah, they're going to have to rely on the likes of Chitty and Bain to stop that Bulldogs midfield who's been on top early.
Umpire puts the ball back into
Chitty
play.
Just done the ruck work.
Yeah, he's won it again. That's the second time. It's fallen there to Tucker of the Tigers. Perks hacks it out of fence. Heisman, best position, takes it on his chest. Just on the left half-back flank. Hard up against the boundary, looking for options. Gilchrist calls, but he chips it in, trying to go for Ryan, and it's out on the full. That was very uncharacteristic of Heisman.
He normally kicks it long too, doesn't he? Yeah. Probably thinking he should have.
Siska, he just goes long. Players set themselves in a good effort there by Lane.
To be paid, I think.
We know Lane knows how to take a big mark.
He's another player we're waiting. He was outstanding last year, was Lane.
And he's held a very strong mark in front there. Just
very much a confidence player too. Gets one early, and he's away.
Eyes only for the football, outstretched and hung on to it. He's on a tight angle, worse than 45, right side for a left footer, and will kick from 45. Goes off the right, starts right and stays right, and it's out on the full.
Probably not the start he would have liked, but it's good to see him getting hands on the footy.
So Perks to bring the ball back into play. He's been pretty honest in the back line so far, Craney.
Good player is Perks, very reliable for the Bulldogs, who have started this game extremely well. 2 straight on the board early.
It's great to see a lovely crowd in here at Payne Park.
Nice little atmosphere at the park.
Beautiful.
Good food in front of us too, Macca.
Tigers kicking to the left of your dial if you're listening on the radio towards the port end as Siska takes an intercept mark outside 50, goes into the corridor, finds Waldrett looking fine with the new hairdo, goes into the hot spot. Hawks gets it off the deck for the Tigers, gets rid of it immediately, but Jay Wright tackling ferociously.
Well, that's what you want from your forwards, isn't it?
Yes.
You want forward line pressure. It's hard enough to get it in that forward 50. You don't want them walking it out of there.
Umpire throws it up, 30 out from the Tigers' goal. They can't get a score. Hawks is wrapped up. He looks like he doesn't mind mixing it up, Craney.
No, South Bunbury, of course, kicking to the city end and Bunbury to the port.
Up they go. One down by Chitty again. He's acting as a ruckman inside 50 as Nordal. He's stripped of it. Chitty, he's working hard. Chitty Waldrett. Geez, Bunbury are ferocious when they don't have the football, not giving any room to the Tigers. Now the ball comes out to Bain and he's brought to ground.
He got one high.
Umpire's found a free kick and she's erupted. She's erupted in the derby. We're about 10 minutes into this first quarter and it's on. It's in half forward for the Tigers.
And Bain just wants to have his shot at goal for the Tigers. Gee, I tell you what, there's a bit going on in there.
The Captain Chitty flying the flag. Waldrett's in amongst it. And Bain's just gone back to set himself.
He just wants his kick and shot at goal.
Before they give it away,
that's
reverse
exactly
it.
Right. I tell you what, it'll take a good kick from here. He'll be kicking this right on 50.
Yep, from dead in front. And they need the goal, the Tigers. Just started to get themselves back into the game. Goes around to give himself a little bit more distance. They fly. Ball comes to ground in the pocket. Good work by Tucker. Gets a handball over the top, but to no one in particular. And it's been a turnover by the Tigers. Cormac floats it into Waldrett, who's taken a mark on his chest. Off hands, has to play on. And it's across the face for a behind. He was claiming the mark, but the umpire was awake.
Tell you what, we expected a contest. We come here for a contest. That's what you want to see. The boys up and about.
This is the cranny I want to hear. He's come to life. Here he goes. There's a contest there. Oh, it looks like
he kicked that out
coming out of the full-off lane, I think. And no, he's got away with one. And the boundary umpire's going to throw it in. Laney gave the boundary umpire a little high five. Ball comes back into play. Chitty wins the knock. Coming at it, it's Clark. Rides Tucker in the bump. Tucker been very, very impressive as Bilsich kicks the ball wide to the outer side. Bunbury emerged with the football. That was Andrews. Spun out of trouble. They've moved the ball up the ground by hand. There's King. Gets a handball to Hall. Two very big prime movers in this Bunbury outfit. And
that was good by Andrews on that far side, wasn't it? The ability to hold your feet under pressure and then release the ball for your advantage.
But Tom Smith was the one who brought Hall down.
Nearly a Bunbury Mower Service tackle of the day already.
Yep. And he won it down. He won the ruck knockdown too for cashforcans.com as Baines wrapped up in the middle of the ground. Not able to get his little hack kicks away, Craney, at this moment.
Oh, she's pretty tight out there.
Ball goes over Bodie Nordell's head. This time Sawyer tries to hack it away. Chitty tries to slap it, but in vain. He's got it on the deck. Handballs it forward. Tucker, like this player, he got it out to a teammate, McGinlay, who goes off the outside of the left boot. Clark, good gather with the one hand. Goes back inside. Pretty flashy stuff. Found a teammate there in, I think it was Jarvis, and away they go. They move it forward. Lane took the mark. Gave it to a teammate on the run. He tried to hit up Ethan Nordell, but it was just a little bit too hot for him, and it goes out of bounds.
They've stemmed it a little bit, haven't they, South Bunbury? It was all Bulldogs early. South just not making the most of their little bit of time in the sun at the moment.
Yeah, they're getting their share of the players. The ball's going to be thrown on the junction of 50 and the boundary line on the far side. One down by Smith again. And going to ground, tackled pretty hard, is Andrews for the Bulldogs. And up they go again, just inside the Tigers' 50. No one can get a handle on it except for Hall. Gives it to Perks running by. He floats up a bit of a mongrel and trying to get hold of it was Scott. He couldn't for the Tigers. And the Bulldogs bring it back through the corridor. Jeez. It's just pinging around and away they go. It's inside 50 now. Getting after it, going to the races is Ryan. But right with him was Jace Cormack, and doesn't he do that brilliantly? Veteran. Off to Scott. Goes out to the pocket. He's got Clark. He's got enough time to stop and prop and sets it up for Smith, who takes a beautiful strong mark.
Jace Cormack, that was outstanding from the veteran.
Beautiful pressure. And running through the middle of the ground is Gorda. Can't quite hit a target. Bilsich goes back, but the umpire said Bilsich pushed Nordell, Ethan Nordell, in the back. So here he goes. Chip pass into the pocket. Trying to find Siska. Gathers it. Stripped of it. Goes back for it. It's going to be a ball in 25 metres around.
Jace Cormack just come off through the Harvey Norman interchange. He's fairly sucking it in, isn't he? Because that was outstanding.
He's definitely a competitor. He hasn't won every medal there is to be on offer in this comp for no reason.
And quite a few premierships to go with that.
Ball's one down by Chitty. He's found a new role, Craney. He's given away a free kick. Parsons. Baden Parsons.
I think Kev Chitty is one of those players you could give any role to and he'd thrive at it.
Finds field. He comes across the ground to Perks. Getting plenty of the footy, Perks. Just at the top of D50. Left foot bullet into the corridor. Doesn't hit anyone in particular. Versace slapped it to Smith. Beautiful sweeping handball to Gorda. And into the corridor finds Clark. Clark plays on right boot. Floats it up to centre half forward. No one can really take the mark. Getting out after it in fine styles, Ashworth. Gets a handball back to a teammate. Perks scoops it up. This is good footy by the Bulldogs out of defence.
I think it's gone out of play, though.
Really? No, it's a free kick for High. Oh, and she's on again right in front of the Bulldogs social rooms. Geez, you love a derby with plenty of feeling, Craney.
There's plenty of feeling in this one, Mac, no doubt about that.
Oh, they're still having a There's cartwheels.
Not
and all
quite
sorts
sure
of
who's
things.
actually got. It'll be
Yeah,
a Bunbury
50.
kick, and they'll get 50.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs.
Yep. So they sucked them in eventually, and this is Ryan on the left boot, just casually stabs it up. Parsons got his opponent out the way, then couldn't mark the football, and away they go, moving the ball away to the Bulldogs and mark on the
He's
chest
been
to
impressive,
Smith.
this Tom Smith.
Yes, he has. He's been everywhere. Just behind the wing on the members' side here. And a little chip pass to Chitty. Umpire says not 15, play on. He's got to go back to Smith. This time Smith went to blow it up with the torp. It was smothered magnificently by his opponent. And he's picked it up. Geez, the 1%ers are on fire. Here is McKinlay at his kick smothered. Umpire says holding the ball.
That's what you love, isn't it? And both these coaches will be absolutely loving the effort by these players. As you said, Macca, the 1%ers, they're throwing their bodies on the line early in this game.
And Smith is fast becoming a candidate for our non-sponsored best on ground crony. Up they go. It's centre half forward for the Tigers. Emerging out of the pack beautifully is Jet Woods for the Tigers, and then he spots up King. Will measured his kick beautifully. Still at centre half back. Trying to find your teammate, but Scott chops off a ball kick. Clark on the run. Big flying drop punt. Hoping for someone to get to it. It's going to bounce through into the post. So on the on the Southwest Isuzu Ute scoreboard, it's Bunbury 2 straight, 12 to South Bunbury, 4 points.
Had the opportunities have South Bunbury?
Absolutely they have. And still inside D50, Denham King takes a mark. Right forward pocket, back pocket.
You have to put it on the scoreboard, Mac.
You do. You got to make the most of the opportunity. And he finds Perks.
It's been a great avenue, as you suggested, coming out of that defensive unit.
Perks gets it to Hawks. They're still inside that D50, but they're under a bit of pressure, the Bulldogs, at the moment. King, held up by Siska. King now kicks the ball outside a defensive 50. Heisman in a bit of space, hard up against the boundary line on the wing. Tumbles it forward, finds Johnston. Johnson gets it on the foot and finds Horton. Too far out to score. Chops it up, looking for Gilchrist, and he holds a beautiful mark. He's at timing, he's young. He's one of those prettiest footballers in the league.
And this is what hurts you if you don't take advantage of your opportunity. South Bunbury had a majority of that footy for a good 10 minutes, couldn't put it on the board. It's come across.
He's played on right to true centre half forward. No one can mark it.
Gee, what?
He was about 40 metres out right side for a left footer on a very tight angle.
But a terrific kick of the footy normally, Gilchrist. He sort of popped it up.
That was intentional.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But it wasn't really a high percentage option. Anyway, the Tigers have the Bulldogs have the footy at top of 50 with Hawks, and he's just kicked it straight down Gordon's throat, who's read it like a book.
How many times did he do that in a game of footy and a season of footy?
Waiting for it. Doesn't he work in the library during the week? On his left boot, goes out to the far side. Ball's taken by Clark, who's had a few touches early, Craney.
Yeah, I like him on that wing. I think that's his spot.
Suits him. He's gone back to Gorda on the run. They come out the members' side. Scott starting to find a bit of footy. Runs outside of D50 now on the left boot. Goes up looking for Chitty, who's been working his backside off. Tucker gets the ball off the deck. And away they go again, do the Bulldogs. That's Stenhouse. Head over the footy. Good little tap out by Stenhouse, but the Hall couldn't pick it up. Now he goes in for the tackle on Bodie Nordle. And I reckon Bodie Nordle's thickened up a little bit.
South Bunbury player in a little bit of trouble just in front of the commentary box here.
He is too, all sorts. And the umpires played it on. King takes a footy out of the pack, and Heisman flies, can't take the mark. Getting after it's Galloway. He moves the ball on to a teammate there in Bodie Nordle, and Waldrett can't take the mark. Smith's coming out to meet it. The Bulldogs rebound again. Smith, good interception of the handball. Siska off the deck. Taps it into Ethan Nordle. No, it was Cade Waldrett. The haircut's got me confused. And he's earned a free kick. Who's this player coming off the ground for SKG?
South, that'll be Aaron Jarvis coming on. He was the player we were just talking about a minute ago.
He's in all sorts.
In a little bit of ankle problems by the look of him.
So,
meanwhile, they're missing the big fella Johnson up there already, aren't they, the Tigers?
Yes, they are. Meanwhile, in the left forward pocket, 20 metres out, right side for a right footer. No angle to speak of. Cade Waldrett. He's a left footer. And I tell you what, he slammed it into the woodwork. They have got 5 points, no goals. On the Southwest Isuzu Ute scoreboard, Bunbury 2 straight, 12, Craney.
Yes, absolutely. As I said, 5 points. They just haven't got reward for effort, the Tigers.
Stenhouse takes a mark at the top of the 50. Hard up against the boundary line, front of Bulldogs social rooms. Goes back into the corridor with a bullet, finds Heisman. Takes it clean. He thought about handballing it, then thought better of it. Pushes it out and tells Fields to run. He runs onto it now. He kicks it inside 50. No one's home except for Benny Horsman for the Tigers. He immediately plays on, comes to the outer side, and there's a siren for quarter time in this beauty, Craney.
Absolute ripper, isn't it, Macca? Quarter time and Bunbury 2 goals straight, 12. Lead South Bunbury 5 points. And what was a cracker of a game. We expected pressure. We got pressure. We're going to take a little bit of a break and we'll be back for quarter 2. Welcome back to SEN Spirits coverage of the Southwest Football League. Payne Park, Bunbury versus South Bunbury, and Bunbury lead 2 straight, 12 to South Bunbury, 5 behind. So plenty of opportunities did the South Bunbury side. Quickly around the grounds thanks to Geograph Civil, and it looks like the Donnybrook 7-4-46 lead the Collie Eagles 5-1-31. And in the other game, Harvey Bulls 2 straight, lead Eaton 1-1-7.
Ooh.
Very good first quarter thanks to MGIB. Like a good neighbour, MGIB is here.
Give us your expert thoughts, Craney. Who do you think's on top? I know the scoreboard can be deceptive. Who do you think is on top, or what did you really like about that first quarter?
Very much Bunbury in the first 10 minutes. They were all over South Bunbury. Then South regrouped. They got together. They started to get a bit of outside footy and moved it forward. The only trouble South Bunbury didn't do, they didn't hit the scoreboard, which they had some opportunities to do. 5 points, not a real reward for effort. Be interested to see if there is breeze out there. This flag almost looks like it's heading to that city end a little bit, doesn't it? But I don't think it'll make too much difference.
Not much of an advantage.
Big Tom Smith has made a big difference to South Fremantle. Gee, we got the South Bunbury coming back into that ruck. So he nullified the first bit of that. The stoppages were all Bunbury.
Yeah.
And then South Bunbury gained a bit of control back out of them.
Yeah, so the Souths had plenty of opportunities in that second part of that first quarter. Just as we said off air, Craney, or you did, some more of your expert comments, thanks to MGIB, was they are really missing Blaine Johnson.
Yeah, look, it's target up. Someone's going to have to stand up a little bit in this quarter if they continue to do that. Mind you, Jay Wright worked pretty hard down around the corner.
Yeah,
but just
he did. He was applying excellent pressure.
And that's what you want. And the pressure around the ground, thanks to Bunbury Mower Services, has been absolutely huge. Just about to start the second quarter here at Payne Park. This is SEN Spirit and Darren McDonald.
And up they go for Hyundai. Coming streaking through his veins, smacks it down, but it's stopped off immediately by Woods, who's rucking against Smith. And I tell you what, Smith was extremely impressive in that first quarter. And is going to be a ball up just forward to centre for the Tigers.
Clark and Hamish Hall on this wing's a good matchup for Southern Lock and Security.
One down by
Keep an eye on
Smith.
that one.
Fields head over the footy. Siska couldn't match it with him, but they're wrapped up. And they'll do it all again from the same spot for Hyundai. End of year financial sale. One down by Smith. Head over the footy, those the Tigers. Brought to ground his Perks. What's the umpire said? Going to ball it up.
It was a good tackle by Buddy Modell. He just held him up there, held one in without giving it away.
Centre half forward for the Tigers. Smith held in the ruck duel by Woods, and jumper was stretched out like the Australia 2 sail, Craney. Spinnaker it was. And he what a bullet inside 50. Hits right fair on the chest. And he's dead in front, 35 out.
It's been a long time since I've seen a pass like that, Darren McDonald.
Oh,
the lead on, but the kick was absolutely superb. That took 2.1 seconds, I reckon, to leave his boot to hit the chest of Jay Wright.
Looked like it was shot out of a cannon. Jay Wright worked hard, as we said, in the first quarter. Dead in front. Going to shoot from 35. Right boot. Set sail. The Tigers have got their first goal. It's taken a bit of work, but on the Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard, It's Bunbury 2 straight to South Bunbury 1-5-11.
Wow, that was absolute perfection, wasn't it?
Oh,
That
poetry
ball,
in motion, Craney.
It just went whack.
We both sat back and went, did we just see that?
Yeah, but just the time it took, by the time he left his boot, to hit Jay Wright, he'd be going to field and make sure he's still there, because that was going at a rate of knots.
I know what I'd be doing. I'd be going out to him at half-time with a contract and saying, don't you go anywhere else for the rest of this year. He
started this game exceptionally well.
You're a season maker. You are. Tom Smith. Wowee. What a treat. Up he goes against Woods. Woods takes this one off the deck, but he is absolutely mauled by Waldrett and Siska. Ball comes out now to Bain on the right boot, drives it forward. King's in pursuit. He's at centre half back now. He can't pick it up. Picking it up, Bodie Nordell gives it to Ethan. He flies it out to a teammate there in Gallagher, who gets it to the pocket. Head over the footy is right. Now Cormac comes. He sniff a goal. They kick it out though. A little chip out, only as far as Siska. That came from Ashworth, and the ball's still in dispute. Siska, handball to Bodie Nordell. He gets it over to a teammate, Gallagher,
Ooh.
and he handballed it to a mate. Right in trouble, be a ball up 35 metres out, dead in front of
This
Tigers'
game's
goal.
been played electric pace, isn't it?
It is. I can hardly keep up with it. My tongue's getting tired.
Bring the trainer in for your tongue there, Mary.
Okay, that's really good work by Chitty, doing that forward ruck work. Picked up by Fields and hacked out of defence for the Tigers, but a really good mark
Galloway.
there by Galloway. Left foot, drives it back in from where it came, clears the pack. No one can gather it. Nordell, contest on the ground. Working hard with him is Perks. This is a good match-up between these two. Umpires found a free, saying Perks held without it. And I reckon if it was me, I would have just kept saying play on, Alan.
No, it wasn't too bad. Perks' jumper come up, actually, Mac. So
Ball goes across. There's King in the left back pocket. Denham King, they want him to get motoring, the Bulldogs. He unloads with a huge drop punt. Coming across is Galloway.
Gee, if
Beautiful
he took that
mark.
Should we put him down for a bit of a contender for the CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day? That was a brilliant grab, wasn't it?
He's passed. He just stuck. Eyes on it. Gorda had the ball, brings it into the middle of the ground, finds Clark, who's been busy this game. He immediately goes back to Gorda on that deadly left, hitting it out onto the lead, trying to find Wright. Wright, good pressure, does exceptionally well. Handball into Bain. Bain looking for a teammate. Waldrett on the chest, plays on the left. The Tigers have got two in a row.
Gee, that was nicely worked, wasn't it? Jay Wright is working exceptionally hard from that full forward position, and it's good to see. He's got a ton of talent, but his just work rate is absolutely outstanding.
His pressure's creating goals.
And a nice little chap in, I tell you what, Wright doesn't mind him, does he?
Oh, does. He loves them on that. So back on the Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard, it's Bunbury 2 straight, 12, and in front for the first time today,
Young Jet
Southwest
Woods,
Tigers 2-5-17.
Young Jet Woods coming off through the Harvey Norman interchange fence for a bit of a spell.
Okay, so
and that will allow Cameron LaMonica to come on.
And Parsons is going into the ruck. So Smith had the better of all the duels so far, and he's fired that footy into the forward line before like it come. Like
that might be one of the big moments for Buckingham, the Butchers, I reckon.
Like a Smith and Wesson.
That jet lag hasn't got you yet, Macca.
And the ball's wrapped up just forward to centre for the Bulldogs. They're going to do it all again. And Clark getting off the ground with young Andrews from the Bulldogs. One down by Smith. Hall couldn't quite get hold of it, but Fields did. Hacked it forward. Smith now, handball back to Clark. Clark cleverly tapped it on. Really good work to Gallagher, but it's come back to the Tigers. King sells a bit of candy, gives a left hand off the field. His kick smothered. Hawks gets it off the deck. Perks, a long way from full back. Beautiful foot pass to Andrews. Andrews goes into the pocket. Kick didn't come off. Horsman hacks it out of defence for the Tigers. They fly. Good mark to Perks. This bloke is really good player.
He can play, isn't it? There's no doubt about that. I like the way he just backs himself.
Oh, he just, gets in good positions. Drives it inside 50. asking Horton to come to the football. He went underground with the kick, did the Tigers player there, and it's tied up dead in front of the Bulldogs' goal, about 40 metres out. It's 25 metres out, and she's going to be thrown up for cashforcans.com.au.
Red hot game of footy, Macca.
Oh, is it what? Ball's one down by the Tigers. Horsman. Umpire's going to throw it up again. Horsman.
Be a good one to test the discipline too on both sides mentally.
Horsman and Horton. One down by Horton. Smacked it. Scott has it for the Tigers. Spills out. No one. Horton tries to cannon his way through. Bodie Nordell playing a great game. Gets it out to his skipper, Chitty. Chitty runs the ball out of defence and finds
nothing up in front.
Finds Cormac all on his own.
He's going to have to wait. That was good running by Kev Chitty. He had nothing up front. He just lifted the ball off to Cormac and then give himself an option. So
and then,
well done, the captain.
And then Cormac's found Chitty. Chitty comes inside to Bain. Bain to Galloway, who's done some pretty nice things. It's a mongrel floater out on the wing, but it still may come off. That player in Mataboni was tackled. That's Barraclough. It's a slick handball away too. Oh, and he goes hard again, Barraclough.
He only knows one way.
Working really well. Tigers, Bulldogs emerge with the footy. Good smother by Horsman. Gorder, a rare kick under pressure from him, and as a result, Field takes the mark. Goes across the ground because all on his own is Tucker. Not the best kick. They arrive in time to thwart it, do the Tigers, and Owen. Handball to Cormac. He can go again to Nordell if he wants, but elects to get around his player. Has had two bounces. Gets just in front of the wing and lets fly.
Nice kick,
good
Cormac.
Kick to Ethan Nordell. He's away. Drills it looking inside 50 for Wright. Wright takes off after it again. Bounces up for him kindly. Handballs backwards to Clark. He's within range. He fires on goal. What's it done?
Oh, I reckon it's gone through.
There's a finger on it.
It has.
Oh, Ashworth completely misjudged it. And there is the Tigers' third goal in the row on the Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard. It's the Tigers 3-5-17 leading the 3-5-23 leading the Bulldogs 2-0-12.
Yeah, when they come out, it was work rate then by Kevin Chitty was the first one who opened it up down the back. Cormac had nowhere to go to, so Chitty had to run past to create that option, and that started up a link there. Once again, Jay Wright well and truly working hard, good to see, and South finish up with the goal.
And Craney, we spoke about it before the match, and against quality opposition, I would say this is the best we've seen the Tigers all year. They're getting their mojo back.
Yeah, it's the clean handling and the ball use and the preparedness to run to make position.
And it could be the Smith factor as well. One down by Parsons. King can't get boot to ball. It trickles to centre half back over the head of Owens. He goes back for it. There's a real scrap on it centre half forward for the Bulldogs. King can't gather it cleanly. Somehow the Tigers emerge with the football. Running out of defence they go. Chitty has the footy. Looking. He's got a heap of time. No one's going to him. Eventually goes back by hand to Scott. Barraclough tries to mow him down, but not in time. And coming out and meeting it's Ethan Nordell. Feigns the handball. Then just goes down the wing. Chitty's just covering some ground. He's looking a bit tired, old Kev, and he might have to come off for a chitty bang rest.
I think he was pretty glad that run over the boundary line. You spoke about the Smith factor. Absolutely, that has been a big plus from the ruckman. Interesting to see. He's going to need a spell at some time this afternoon. So
Smith wins it in front of Parsons again. Chitty picks it up. This is for cashforcans.com. And Nordell, that's Ethan, got it out to Smith. He puts it up high to the hot spot. They fly. Siska roves it beautifully. Handball in ball to Waldrett. Can't get his second. Just pushes to the near side for a minor. So it puts them 2 goals clear on the Harvey Norman Bunbury Electrical scoreboard.
This ball is absolutely whizzing when it hits the deck. The players from both sides, skill level is exceptional. Under enormous pressure, Macca. And you're right about Kev Chitty. He's come off through the Harvey Norman interchange bench for a well-earned rest.
So Renton brought the ball back into play. It's now in King's hands. It's still deep in that left-back pocket. King looking for options. In the end, he elects to go wide and long out to that far side. They set themselves. Gorder brings it to ground. Sawyer can't pick it up. Coming hard at it. players from both clubs. And the umpires found a push in the back. And that is going... I'm trying to make out who the player is. I think it's Sawyer. And he goes long on his left foot. Inside she goes. Smith nearly takes a good one-hander. Parsons right with him. Showing good distance. Off the ground. Straight through by Clark.
Is he?
Umpires. It must have been a free kick. In danger, possibly. There's no score anyway.
No score. He's been brought back. It is a... There wasn't too much celebration from the South boys, so...
No.
Bunbury will bring it back.
So the ball is with Perks. Comes out to the members' side. They sit underneath it, and that's a good grab to Bilsich. He's definitely thickened up since last year, Craney.
Yeah, it's amazing what it does a year for young players when they come into league footy.
Goes inside and he finds Ryan, who looks to be a clever little player. He comes out wider still to Andrews.
Gee, they weren't playing with the boundary line there, weren't they?
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, right on side. King calling for it. Umpire now says play on, so Andrews elects to go LDL. Long down the line. Horton used his body well. Can't. Mark Gorder comes across and smashes it across the line at right half forward for the Bulldogs.
Troy Holland's nearly got a stat there himself, the coach of the Bunbury side.
Ball to come back into play by the boundary umpire for cashforcans.com. Parsons and Smith, there was a bit of holding going on there. Or it was actually Nordal, rather. Cormac wins the footy to Clark, to Horsman.
Gee, they work well in a tight situation.
Back to Cormac, who's walking. And the ball, that was Hawkins, actually, not Horsman.
Yeah,
and,
Hawkins has gone in the ruck to give big Toby Hawkins. Good to see him back. He had a bit of a shoulder injury a couple of weeks ago.
Just keep a watch on Cormac for SKG. I didn't think he was moving too comfortably.
SKG, get your scans done. Hopefully he's all right. He's done a fair bit of running as Jace Cormac.
One down by Hawkins. Bunbury first onto the ball. And the expert comments you're hearing here from the wise old owl next to me are thanks to MGIB. Thanks.
You got the old part right, Naka.
One down by Hawkins. Coming hard at it was Bilsich, but Siska managed to move him off the ball. Now there's an in danger free kick. Oh, and Siska is holding his shin. SKG going to be busy today. He's in all sorts of trouble. He's trying to shake it off. Gilchrist has the football. On the left foot, Galloway can't pick it up. Coming in solidly was Clark. Gives it to Galloway. Then Gallagher. Then Bodie Nordal. Off to Bain. Bain, a good-looking drop punt into the teeth of goal.
The big fella.
Just threw him off and bang, Smithy puts through his first for the day. This boy gets more impressive by the moment.
My word, this bloke is having an absolute day out, is Tom Smith. He was just too big, too strong then, wasn't he? It was a nice bit of work by the South Bunbury right in front of us. They had very little room to move, and it was a nice, quick little chain of handballs that opened up a bit of space. And when Bain had that position, he put it into Smith's percentage, and they finished it off nicely.
It was a very good low, hard drop punt in there, and Smith in a one-on-one just offloaded his man and casually strolled into an open goal. But Craney, if there's no sponsor of this, it might have to be a Crane McDonald $50 each to the best on ground. He can't walk away with nothing after today's game.
So far, round the ground, thanks to Geograph Civil 2, Eaton 4 goals for 28 lead the Harvey Bulls 2 straight, and Donnybrook 7-4-46 lead the Eagles 5-1-31.
And up they go for Hyundai. End of year financial sale. It was one down by Hawkins, but it's hacked forward by the Bulldogs. Away they go. It's inside 50, picked up off the deck by Ryan, flying shot on goal, and that post has had an absolute workout today.
He's got a good lot of stats, those posts.
Yeah.
Tell you what, that was a magnificent effort.
Yeah,
flying effort.
Good, clean work.
And that's the beauty of this game. It's the cleanliness of the ball handling.
And on the Harvey Norman Electrical scoreboard, it's a Bunbury a 13 to the Tigers a 30. Up they fly at centre half back. Nordal brings the ball to ground. Lux are fortunate as they scrap it forward, and Waldrett's all on his own with that dangerous left foot. Goes out to Smith on the lead. He's taken a beauty. He fires into it. He puts it on the run to Lane, who can't mark. But, gee, that was beautiful football.
I don't know whether Luxor was a fortune coming out of that defensive unit. That looked like a pretty well set play. They all huddled in the middle, left a player over the back. All that ball needed to do was fall to the back, and South Bunbury were on a run. So if it was a plan, it worked very, very well.
Smith actually had 2 bites at it, and then it come off the top of his knee back into his hands. He had a 4 grabber.
He's having that good a day, he can use anything.
3 grabber and a need bob.
He's dangerous down that front half too.
Very. So he's gone out into the ruck with Horton. Horton's won it down, and Bunbury clear, but a very, very good mark to Bodie Nordell. So he's looking for someone to give it to. Just goes long and high to the teeth of goal. They fire! Smith comes from 4 deep. Comes off the pack. Ethan Nordell over the left shoulder. Straight through the eye, diddle from 30 metres out.
WA Carpet Supermarket contender. And why wouldn't you go long to the big fella? At least he makes a contest and he brings it down into the advantage. I thought he was going to take our CPR Outdoors mark of the day for a minute there, Macca.
I'm waiting for you to give me a bit of credit, Croney, because I said off air I'd like to see Smith up forward for a bit.
Yeah, look, he's dangerous up there. Can't give you too much credit, Macca.
And on the Harvey Norman electrical scoreboard, it's Bunbury 2-1-13 to the South Bunbury Tigers 5-6-36, and they have jumped out to a fairly sizable lead.
Yeah, sort of snuck away a little bit, hasn't it?
So 6 points.
Bunbury got to find a bit of an option around these stoppages.
They've had a 5-goal quarter.
And there is very little breeze out there that we can see.
No, so it's Woods and Hawkins. Up they go. Hawkins wins this one down. Waldrett does it beautifully. Got it off to Gallagher outside of the right boot. Picked up beautifully by Sawyer. Now it's taken by Bodie Nordell. Drives it inside to his brother Ethan, and that's a good grab. Good bit of twin telepathy there, Croney.
Twin telepathy.
And Nordell goes inside the corridor. Barraclough copped high, wins a free kick. Umpire pays advantage. Perks brings the ball out of defence. Doesn't quite connect as he'd want to. And then coming in taking a good mark is Hawkins, who's enjoying his time in the ruck. Until he kicked it off the side of the boot and found LaMonica.
You turn the ball over like this.
Forward.
This will be a goal to Heisman, I would reckon, Macca.
And he strolls into an open goal and gets there first of the quarter. Dylan Heisman, his second for the day.
Yeah, turn the ball over like that. Everyone was running forward. Bunbury had the runners out the back, and you could pick that a while ago. Dylan Heisman had a smile on his face when the turnover happened because the ball, he knew it was coming down to him, and he ran into an open goal. And it's a nice one for the Bulldogs to peg back.
No better player that you want with the footy in a turnover than Gilchrist, because he's lethal with his left foot.
If you've got any scans get done, please go see SKG. Thanks for your support this afternoon.
So on the Harvey Norman electrical scoreboard, Bunbury 3-1-19, South Bunbury 5-6-36. So it's a 17-point margin to the Tigers here at Payne Park. And we're getting treated to another classic, Croney.
Oh, it's an absolute beauty, isn't it? As Hawkins comes off through the Harvey Norman interchange bench and Smith goes back into the ruck for the Tigers.
Woods and Smith.
Good body
One
work
down
by young Woods.
by Woods. Siska can't get a handle on it. And they do it very well through Tucker. Do the Bulldogs. Going out there looking for a teammate in Ryan. He can't mark it. Comes across to Andrews. Runs to 50 around an opponent. Fires on goal.
And
2 in a row to the Bulldogs. They're back in town. It's a, 11-point margin.
It's amazing, isn't it, that when you turn it over like that, Bunbury was struggling a little bit. They turn over, get the goal, followed it up with a very, very nice goal. Who kicked that?
Andrews.
Andrews. Yeah. We're going to put him down for a WA Carpet Supermarket chance for goal of the day.
Absolutely.
Because that was very, very handy.
Oh, that was a very nice goal. Just
Lucas Andrews
took it at full stride, and then moved around an opponent, steadied, and just whacked her through from 45. So suddenly, they're back in the game.
Yeah,
Harvey Norman, Bunbury electrical scoreboard. Bunbury 4-1-25. South Bunbury 5-6-36.
That's what we love about this game of ours, Macca.
Anything can happen. Smith wins this one down for the Tigers. Tunnel balled out by Siska. Pouring through was Chitty. Siska has the ball again. Waldrett, little left foot chipper, finds Bain. Bain takes it immediately and plays on. Drives it to full forward. Ethan Nordell can't mark. Clears the pack. King will see it over the line. Oh, geez, Granny. This game's got everything.
It's electric, isn't it?
Yeah. King immediately out to Parsons, takes a chest mark on D50 and plays on. Into the corridor, I like their thinking. Clears the pack though. Here's Cormac. Goes, cuts through a couple of opponents. Right foot, bang on the chest to Ethan Nordell. Bodie Nordell. He spears it inside with Cade Waldrett, hits him on the chest, and he's going to go back on a 45-degree angle and kick it from about 45. What is it with these South Bunbury players and these spearing kicks today?
Might have been practicing. That was good by Nordell. He was right on his kick on this distance. We know that Waldrett's got a big kick of the footy, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. Macca?
Right side for a right footer. We know he's a left. It's very gettable for him. Will shoot from 45. Away he goes. Starts at left. It stays left. You give a bloke a rap. He only likes him on the death.
I was just getting over your right side for left, but right. What was that?
It was a right side for a right footer, but he's a left footer.
Yeah, okay. Good crowd
So,
in here.
sorry for anyone out there in SEN Spirit Land who that's totally confused them.
Wouldn't be the first time we've done that this afternoon, and won't be the last.
Renton brings the ball back into play for the Bulldogs. Gets it out to centre half forward, and a very, very strong mark there to the Bulldogs. They play on. Hawks fumbles what he should have taken. And Tigers recover the ball. Owens just jumped out of the tackle. Gave it to Waldrett by hand. He comes across looking for Cormac. Cormac still looks like he's not moving that well. Does very well in a tough situation. Shrugs off Hall. I'll take it back, Jace Cormac. Handballs over the top to Chitty. Then follows through again to Cormac. Finds Bain. Goes off the inside of the right boot looking for Lane. Can't find him. King just gathers and goes
Get under
bang
that.
on the boot. They stand underneath it. Versace can't mark. Coming out of the pack is Chitty. Gives it to Scott, and he's just absolutely creamed by Gilchrist, and the umpire's going to ball it up.
Hall for the Bulldogs copped a little one there, a bit slow getting up. He'll be right, though.
Cormac coming off, Graney.
On the Harvey Norman interchange bench, that'll let Cole Sawyer on.
I just wonder if he's right.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. He's got a little bit of a leg problem.
Smith gave it to Bain. Bain drives it in, and a good mark to Nordell, standing right in the teeth of goal, and that's Ethan. And he's going to go back for have a shot in his second goal, is it, Craig?
Yeah, a little bit of a mismatch there, wasn't it? Vilsic giving away a bit of height to Nordell.
So he's dead in front, and you would think he's shooting from about, 25 metres, Alan?
Yeah, it wouldn't be too far out there, mate.
If he's dead in front, is it the right side for a left footer or a right footer?
Not quite sure.
In he comes, off the right boot, no question at all. Ethan Nordell's got his second goal.
Yeah, nice little mismatch that created down there with Vilsic on Nordell. He had him a bit for height, so he's working a bit out of his depth there was Vilsic. But a nice finish to Nordell, and this game continues to liven up.
Isn't it amazing the confidence that South Bunbury have in their players, that they can just put it to the teeth of goal and know that someone's either going to bring it to ground or take a mark, tall, small or otherwise.
Well, you mentioned it before. So far this year, South Bunbury haven't been using the ball that well, but going forward, they've sort of bottled themselves up. But a couple of those passes inside that forward 50 have been absolutely magnificent.
So the ball is going to go up for Hyundai, and it's Woods and Smith. Woods held ground, didn't win the knock. No one did. Siska trying to roll through, held without it. Umpire says play on. Tucker ducks his head. Umpire still lets it go. And Eddie says holding the ball eventually. So Chitty, he has been fantastic today, particularly when
thrown his body around and worked extremely hard.
Particularly when the Tigers are struggling. Siska takes the mark, uncontested, gets the top of 50, finds teammate there in Owens. He drives it forward. Very, very good intercept by Borlini. Now he's brought down by Nordell and holding the ball.
You want to be
Ethan
quick.
Nordell's doing it all. Goodness me.
He just didn't have that time. That'd almost be a Bunbury Mower Service tackle of the day, wasn't it?
Yep,
because
absolutely.
he worked very hard. I'll write that one down, actually.
Write it down.
Does that mean he's a left foot, right foot?
It's dead in front.
Where is he this time, Macca?
He's dead in front.
He's a good job for a left or right footer.
And he's going to shoot from about 40. well within his capabilities. Kicking to the port end, which is left on your radio dial. And it's a mongrel floater, and he's had a chance to get his third for the quarter, but he's stuck on 2.
6 goals, 9 South Bunbury. A lot of scoring shots to 4-1 for Bunbury. So
that's according to the Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard.
Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour to MGIB.
Renton brings the ball out of full back and just helicopters it. Smith takes it so clean, gives it off to Galloway. Handball to Bain. Bain to Waldrett. Left foot, sprays it. Geez, they're peppering the goals.
Gee, I tell you, how was the pick up by the big fella?
Oh,
That was a awkward bouncing ball, wasn't it?
He needs to go and get his... There needs to be an inspection at half-time on those mitts. Is he doing a Travis Cloak and wearing a legal glove? King in the right back pocket for the Bulldogs brings a long drop punt out. They might have to pull the trigger and put him in the middle of the ground, Craney. Taken by Owens of the Tigers. Bain, Gorder, not his best kick. They come at it really well, do the Bulldogs. That was right. That was Jack Wright. Big tackle there by the half-back flanker in Sawyer.
This game, absolutely everything, Macca. I love the tackling pressure. I love the skill level of this game. Absolutely superb.
One down by Parsons, and there's a siren for half-time in an absolute beauty. On the Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard, it's Bunbury 4 goals, 125, trailing South Bunbury 6-9-45 by a 20-point differential. We have got a beauty.
A big crowd enjoying what is some superb footy put on by both these sides. We'll be back after the break for the Hollow Beach Bar halftime chat. And welcome back to Payne Park in the Derby. South Bunbury lead 6-9-45. They lead the Bunbury Bulldogs 4-1-25. This is the Hollow Beach Bar halftime chat, and we have been privileged to a magnificent first half of football here. That Bunbury started off, had all the play early, and then South Bunbury took a bit of control. They've had, 14 scoring shots to 5, but there's still not a lot in the game. Goal kickers for Bunbury, Heisman has 2, Gilchrist 1, and Andrews 1. And for South Bunbury, Nordell 2, Clark 1, Waldrott 1, Wright 1, and Big Tom Smith, who's playing an absolute beauty, the big ruckman. He has 1. Macca, pretty interesting game of footy.
Oh, yeah, it was all Bunbury early doors, and then South Bunbury got their bit of play in that first quarter, in the second half of the first quarter, but couldn't hit the scoreboard in a major way. They kicked 5 minors, and then they come out in the second quarter, all guns blazing, and just blew Bunbury away until Bunbury were able to get 2 late goals. So we're evenly poised at half-time.
Mate, I'm going to throw one straight off the cuff at you. Who's hot at half-time? Thanks to Giovanetti Firewood. Bunbury fend off the cold with Giovanetti Firewood. Who's hot?
Well, mate, I'm going to tell you.
There's only one bloke that
I'm going to tell you who's hot. He's more than hot. He is red hot, and that's Tom Smith, the ruckman from South Bunbury. From the first bounce, been on fire. He's so agile for his height, and he's got exquisite skills. We've seen the cannon that he's got on his leg, that he just speared that ball in to hit Jay right on the chest. He's kicked a goal of his own. He's taken some strong marks. He's got a contender there, I think, for Mark of the Day already, thanks to, is it WA Carpet Supermarkets Mark of the Day?
That's who it is, yep.
Yep, got that right. And he's extremely hot. So
that's the goal of the day. And the CPR Outdoor Centre's the Mark of the Day, Mark.
And I just want to say that at boiling point, not quite as hot, at boiling point for Gianetti Firewood are the Nordell brothers. Both of them getting a fair bit of the footy, and they are a pleasure to watch when they are in full flight.
You heard it here first on the Hollow Beach Bar halftime chat. We have Tom Smith as the Giovanetti player that's running hot, right from Darren McDonald, straight back from Sydney. So we'll be back after the break for the second half of the Derby Park, where it is half-time, and this is the Hollow Beach Bar half-time chat. Bunbury, 4 goals, 125. Trail South Bunbury, 6 goals, 9-45, in what has been a very good first half of footy. South Bunbury out on the ground again. Umpires are out on the ground. Before we do that, Macca, and I know you love this better than any
Oh, I
part of the
do.
broadcast, the Buckingham the Butchers inside the Bunbury Plaza. A Buckingham the Butchers big moment in that first half.
Craney, the Buckingham Butchers, a bucking big moment goes to the Smith & Wesson bullet that hit Jay right in the chest from Tommy Smith at centre half, or in the centre square. It was just an absolute rocket. We were both in amazement, and from that point on, South Bunbury really seemed energised, and they went to work for the next 10 minutes.
And injury reports for SKG Radiology. We're just watching Jace Cormack had a bit of he's back out on the ground. He had a bit of a leg problem. Looks like he's moving pretty freely now, though.
Even when he did look like he was struggling to move a bit, he still pulled off some dynamic pieces of play, didn't he? One-on-one contests and what have you. But he doesn't look his normal self.
But what you love about Jace Cormack, he's done everything there is to be in football.
Yes.
And that chase from down, he was right up there for the Bunbury Mower Service tackle of the game, because he just didn't let that one
that
slip.
Pressure.
End up turning the Bunbury forward inside out when he was out of position and got the ball away from there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a magnificent effort. Tell you what, I noticed young Wood in the little bit of that the last bit of that quarter, started to push his body into Smith a little bit, and then nullified him that way. So it's good to see a young player thinking, they were getting beaten, but he's thinking, okay, how can I fix this?
How can I halve the contest? And the ball's not getting hit by any ruckman, but then it's hitting the ball on his side, and it's coming back, and he's winning possession that way. So clever by Jet Woods. Clever.
I thought so. I thought it was good. People probably didn't notice that, but I just thought that was a fairly handy move by the young man. Ethan Nordell has 2 goals. Started the game for South Bunbury a little bit quiet, but worked his way into it. I love the work rate of all these players as Bunbury just break their huddle now and start to get a position. But the work rate...
Can I just say, Craney,
you can say whatever you like,
I've always really liked Ethan Nordell, but today I think his brother Bodie, they're both playing exceptionally well, but his brother Bodie, and I've seen him a bit, not as much as you, but I've seen him a fair bit over the last 4 years, and I think this is the best half of footy I've seen Bodie Nordell play to date in senior footy, and it might be just a little bit of maturity, knows he belongs, very comfortable, but he's been extraordinary today, Bodie.
They are both very, very talented young men. He had a bit of trouble with injury, has young Bodie, for a little bit of time. So hopefully we can get over that. I credit to Troy Hollands, the coach of Bunbury. He's tried quite a few players running through that ruck role to try and negate Smith a little bit. So both players, coaches trying a fair bit of work.
And don't worry, when Smith went forward, Hawkins was more than handy in the ruck, and Chitty's been rucking in the forward line. So they're really putting in a team effort, the Tigers.
Just looking who comes out to this wing. Looks like Cormac will start on grandstand wing. Up against...
What's it going to take from the Bulldogs?
Cody Ryan. So that's a good matchup for Southern Lock and Security. Good test for Ryan.
What's it going to take from the Bulldogs?
No,
Fields hasn't been able to get any really clean ball.
They just need to grab a bit of momentum. When they had that turnover in the middle of the term, the Bulldogs got it up, kicked the goal, and then their spirits lifted a bit. So it's just a matter of clean ball use. Just about ready to start the third quarter for SEN Spirit and Darren McDonald.
Up they go for Hyundai. It's one down by Smith. Siska runs on it. Outside of the right boot. Inside 50 she goes. It hits and pitches and trickles away to the right forward pocket. Sitting underneath the footy... there, or in front of the footy's Perks, cops the knock and keeps his head over it. They come out of it, the Bulldogs, with Gilchrist firing a handball away to Bilsich. He takes his measured run and then goes long and strong and kicks it out in the full in front of his bench.
Gee, that was a nice little take out of the middle.
Yeah, sure was. So Owen has the footy for the Tigers. Looking in the corridor, and the legs to go on his left to the top of the 50. Chitty underneath. Good mark there to Taka. Good body positioning. Likes that defensive role by the looking, goes into the middle of the round, finds, it was Ryan. He got it over to Renton, and Renton drives it inside 50, but Horsman's there waiting underneath it. Did it uncontested.
Bunbury just got to keep faith in their structure. They've been good all year and just keep moving the ball well. That's going to be a turnover.
Played on McGinley, Horsman, and he hit up Hall. Hall immediately into Horton. Horton drops what he should have taken, and away they go again. That's Jai Clark comes out to the member side, and Cormac copped a genuine one in the head that time from Tucker.
Gee, that was a miss by Horton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Come bouncing back.
Yeah, and he
normally wraps them up.
Eat them for brekkie. A good lead as well, and a good kick from Hall, who hasn't been able to get a lot of loose ball. Chitty drops what he should take him. Bilsich mops up. Handball to Stenhouse. Stenhouse inboard to Tucker. Tucker enough time to turn. Barraclough takes a mark just for the wing. Short pass from Tucker. They'd want Barraclough to get going. Gives a handball off there to Ryan. He drives it in just inside 50. Horton spoiled again. And he gets the ball again, though, the big fella in the recovery. Oh, coming out Versace. Head taken off. Umpire says play on. Owens gathers the footy. He's got Horsman hard up against the line. And big Horsman drops a spiral down the wing. They fly. And the umpire's found a free kick for a shepherding out. And it is going
Tucker,
the way of Tucker. Tucker goes into the corridor to find King. King can go further afield if he likes, and he does.
She's a beautiful kick of the footy, Dan and King.
He's got Hall all on his Pat Malone. He takes off immediately, drives it out to the pocket. Versace intercepts. Good mark on that chest to Rocco Versace. But then intercepted by McGinley, not the best pass by Rocco. He goes into the hot spot. They fly, and coming over the top is, you know it,
I'd like to take the stats on how many marks this bloke takes in a season.
Tommy Gorder. 25-45 on the LJ Hooker Property West scoreboard. Property Southwest. And away they go down the wing, do the Tigers. On the outer side, good foot pass. Chitty drops what he should have taken. Bilsich wearing him like a glove this quarter. Comes over to Renton. Renton to King. King drives it down the wing and finds Hall. Hall plays on immediately. Makes short work of Galloway and a stab pass to Barraclough. This is better by the Bulldogs. Chip over the top. Parsons gathers on the bounce. Then there's a fumble. Versace got a handball back to Bain. Bain, very nice measured foot pass, finds Gallagher. Gallagher goes out to the wing.
Clever
and
kick
finds
as well.
Galloway. Galloway on his left. Just a chip up to Lane, and Lane takes a good mark on his chest. So he's at high, left half forward. He's got a teammate running by, gives it off, fires the ball inside 50. I think it might be out on the full. It is.
Both sides struggling a little bit to get inside 50 soon
That was
after the
Clark.
half-time break.
That was Clark that did that one. Now Tucker has it. He's got a fair few kicks today, Tucker, in that back pocket roll. He finds Field, runs on again to Tucker. Not the best kick, but finds Barraclough, who read it beautifully. Barraclough now just a beautiful big long drop punt. It goes inside 50 from the back of the square. Heisman grabs it off Horseman's crumbs, trickles it forward. Oh, gee, the ball's cut everything and it's just trickled over the point line. Oh.
That footy, everyone was just, the whole crowd went quiet while we were watching it bounce from left to right.
After all that climax, it was just anti-climax. It was a point. Gorder brings the ball back into
Pretty
play.
exciting point, though, Macca.
It was. Big left foot drop punt down the corridor. Smith flies, can't mark. King head over the footy. Still has. Umpires found a free kick. And going to Bilsich. He's been pretty good.
He's tightened up on Kev Chitty.
He really has. Plays on immediately. Low drop punt, inside 50. No one can mark. They come at the footy. Really good work there by that player in Mataboni for the Tigers. They bring the ball out of defence. That was Clark. Siska come out on the lead. Good one grabber. Out in front, in the midst. Goes long. Inside 50, over the back. Right, can't mark. He's got two to beat. And they come out with the football to the Tigers. And that was Renton. Stab pass out to a teammate. Took the mark. Played on. He's found... Who's it? Field. On his right boot into the corridor, spots up Ethan Nordell. Handball off to Bodie Nordell. He's got a plethora of options and taking the ball on his chest at the top of 50.
That was a pretty clever kick
Jai
too
Clark.
from Nordell. You just spoke about young Bodie and he's seen Jai Clark at the corner of his eye.
So he would back himself from here, Jai Clark.
Do you like his chances, Mac?
Yes, with a little bit of that with looking at what the windsock's doing. He's got the breeze at his back, and he'll kick from probably 52, 53 metres, from almost dead in front. Right foot, puts it up, gives it every chance, and it's missed to the far side. It's going to be brought back into play by King. Stab pass straight down the middle.
That was
finds
just...
Perks. He plays on immediately, goes out to Parsons. Parsons can't mark it. He's got a couple to beat. Galloway off the deck. Oh, she's hot and heavy in the
that
kitchen.
Was a good contest
Woo!
over there.
Waldrett gets a handball away to Siska. Goes back to Waldrett. Has to gather it off the deck. Lane, he's stripped of it. Umpire said holding the ball and fair call. They bring the ball out to the far side. Stenhouse takes it on his chest. Plays on back inside the corridor. Wrong-footed his opponent. Comes up the wing. Asks a fair bit of Andrews. He's got 2 to beat, but Bodie Nordell just cleverly lets the ball roll out of play and they'll reset.
Yeah, both sides getting plenty of the footy, just falling down, going inside 50 at the moment in this second half.
I tell you what, recycling's made easy by cashforcans.com, but this game isn't going easy. Ball comes back into play. 1 down by Woods to Barraclough.
It's a very good setup, that too, Macca, Cash for Cans.
Yes, handballs off to King, and he put it in the middle for Andrews. He didn't take the mark.
This is better by the Bulldogs.
Hit up McGinlay, who's all on his own. From 60 out, he spots up Heisman, who was very, very clever in the moment. He pushed his player out, came back into the space and took an easy chest mark in the end.
That was better by the Bulldogs. They created a little bit of space for themselves, and you only need to give Dylan Heisman a bit percentage his way, and he'll make the most of it.
45-degree angle from 45 metres right side for a right footer. Bang he goes. Hung it out in the breeze. It just hasn't come back. Off hands for one behind. You would have backed him from there, Craney.
I did actually. Just about to write. You see me just about to write that one down. He doesn't miss too many, does Dylan?
Tom Gorder, left foot, short pass, finds Versace. Handballs back to Gorder, who's run on straight down the corridor. Comes out to the wing. Oh, Heisman intercept on the chest, plays on immediately, looking for options. Just goes long and strong. And Parsons can't mark. Good defensive work by Versace, and Galloway was there for support. Well, should he have been needed?
They've stemmed the flow too, the Bulldogs, haven't they?
Ooh,
I'm a bit worried about the number 10 water boy for South Bunbury. He does a lot of time talking on the fence down there.
You reckon they need a drink?
I don't know. They're not getting too many from Sean Crane down there.
Ball comes back into play. Pushed under the footy was the Bulldogs ruckman in Horton. And the ball's come out. Cormac, it eludes him, and it goes out of bounds in front of the South Bunbury dugout and she'll be thrown back in. On the LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard, it's Bunbury 4-4-28.
Thanks to SKG to get your scans done at SKG. Sorry, Macca might have cut you off there a little bit.
6-9-45. It's all good.
I was a bit premature.
They've closed the gap, Bunbury, but not by much, as the ball went off the side of Jet Woods'.
But they've closed the gap on the footy side of it.
And there's Lane. He gets it off to Cormac down the wing. Beautiful foot pass into right. He's received a couple of those today from his teammates. And he's right up here just in front of centre wing. Goes into the hot spot. They set themselves. Great mark to Clark.
That's a CPR contender, without a doubt, there from a young Clark.
He looped around. He led in. He did the tick lead from the wing, cut across in front of the pack and took a nice strong one.
And that's the key. It's just work rate, isn't it? You've got to present. If you don't get used, you present again and you present again. So the ball carrier's got options.
So he didn't quite make the distance of the last one, Crane.
Do you reckon number 10 Waterboy might actually move if he kicks this goal?
You reckon there's a fair bit of in-ground coaching. 45-degree angle, right side for a left footer. He's a bit closer than before. He should kick it from just inside the paint. He does.
Oh, that's a nice
It's
kick.
a good-looking drop
That
punt.
is an
He salutes
absolute
and they all
dookie.
go to him. Clark's got his second and he's having a reasonable game today as well, Craney.
Yeah, look, Bunbury have been working very, very hard in this first bit of this second half to score, and South Bunbury, well, that was an outstanding goal because of his work rate to create that goal. That didn't just happen. he actually worked very hard, and he has actually moved out to give someone a drink there. So that's a pretty good effort.
There might be a fair bit of coaching going on there, if I read things correctly. 4-4-28. Bunbury to South Bunbury, 7-9-51 on the LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard. First goal of the quarter, Alan.
Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB, for your support throughout the year.
Jai Clark just coming to the Harvey Norman interchange bench after that stellar goal. Ball's one down by Tom Smith. Taken by Ethan Nordell. Gives it to brother Bodie. Left foot inside 50. Coming out was Perks to intercept. Tries to get it off the deck. Waldrett, good fend off. Siska. Oh, good in a tight situation. Bodie Nordell continuing on his good run. Mark on the chest. Dead in front. A chance for the Tigers to get a quick couple of goals in succession.
Well, we spoke about the Tigers before the game, how they hadn't quite put it all together. Well, by gee, so far in this game they have, because
by Jingo, by Crikey.
By Jobs. They have been using the ball exceptionally well.
Yeah, so he's dead in front.
G'day to Jared O'Brien, who's listening in.
Bodie Nordell, and he's going to shoot from 35. In he comes. And big Bodie goes bang. Umpire does a bit of work, but he's got it through the big ones. So Bodie Nordell's got his first of the afternoon.
And South continue on, don't they, after what was a fairly torrid first 10 minutes of this quarter. Kicked 2 in a row, South, and have extended that lead. But pretty good game of footy.
Craney, you talk about work rate. Ethan Nordell got the ball out of the middle, handballed it over the top to Bodie, who spotted up, or tried to spot up a teammate in the pocket. Kept running down the corridor, so when Siska gathered it, he was there. So, it's easy for him to stop and say we'll form the wall, but just created the option and the pressure on Bunbury.
I think it's the vision that's impressing me. They're not prepared just to bang away like in recent weeks.
Yeah.
They've been prepared to wait, have a look and see what's on offer.
There's a line there, and I'm not going to cross it, Craney.
Well, yeah, it's all about keeping it off the opposition, isn't it?
Absolutely. One down by Smith against Parsons, just. Cormac, just at the foot of it, gets taken to ground. Umpire's letting it go, and I've been really impressed with the umpires today, Alan.
Look, they're doing a fantastic job just around the ground. Thanks to Geograph Civil, Eaton 6-5-41, leave the Harvey Bulls 5-6-36. So a pretty good contest there. And Donnybrook 12-5-77, lead Collie Eagles 8-2-50.
So King has the football for the Bulldogs as we speak, runs through the centre circle, handballs onto the hard-running Bilsich. Bilsich had Gallagher in pursuit, but he puts in a big high drop punt, and standing underneath it with great courage, Rocco Versace, that's becoming a real staple in his game.
Absolutely. His courage is absolutely huge.
And he's given it off to Gorda. Gorda's given it off to Jack Wright. Jack Wright off to, is it Ethan Nordell, I think. And now the ball's come along to Mataboni.
Who's a young player, played his first game last week and played very, very well.
Mataboni up the wing. And taking the ball there was Ryan. Handballed as he tackled. Parsons, good stab pass to Stenhouse. Stenhouse into Taka. Keeps getting the football, this bloke, Craney. Taka goes long. He heads for home. They sit underneath it. Passes. Versace!
Oh, that's a good grab.
Oh, that is a contender, Craney,
for
the CP Outdoors mark of the day. That's a good contested mark if ever I've seen one. They've got the ball in the back pocket. Horsman goes up to the wing. They stand underneath it. Denham King. They're working hard, the Bulldogs. They just need to hit the scoreboard.
So the Bulldogs go down to Barraclough. Good mark by Barraclough, just outside 50. Scoreboard side. He'll look inside. Pushes it long. Heisman's behind the pack. And Nordell thumps it through. Thanks.
Beautiful work. The lights are on here in the commentary box.
It was getting a bit dark for these old eyes, Macca. Thank you very much for that.
And we're in at fullback. Just a little bit of a lull in the match at the moment. So on the LJ Hooker South Property Southwest scoreboard, it's 4-5-29 to 8-9-57 as Gorda brings the ball into the centre of the ground. Picked up there and brought to ground was Hawkins. And umpire says holding the ball.
I reckon he handballed that off.
So this is Johnson with the football. Goes across to King, who's getting a lot of football from his teammates this quarter. Taking a lot of those marks on his own. Stab pass out to the wing after he played on. Found Tucker. Another one who's getting a heap of it. Tucker spots it up and he finds Field. Field, oh, terrible by Field off 1 foot. His kick's smothered. And then Ryan, somehow it ends up with Hall. Big up and under. They all stand. Big fist from Versace and she trickles through for a behind. So it's trapped in the Bulldogs forward 50 at the moment. They just can't get bang for buck as Bain takes the footy off Gorda, plays on immediately. Versace having a wonderful term and not the best kick by him. Lane keeps it in play.
Walks did that it pretty well, but
walks the line, and then he gets a handball away, but not in time. Oh! And Andrews lets him know about it.
He let him know, that's right.
Goes inside and finds Hawks. Hawks get back off the mark. They play on now. Hawkins nearly gets a smother. Just gets it inside 50. Versace stands under it again. It's almost like carbon copy watching him at the moment. Nordell handballs the ball out of fence. Clark gets it to Siska. There's Hawes right. That's Jack Wright. Goes back to Bain. They've worked it well, the Tigers.
Versace's still down on his haunches there. I don't know whether he wore one. He's back up now.
Might be a bit winded. It's Gallagher. Gallagher, long down the line. They set themselves. Hawkins there, Lane there, clears a whole lot of them. Getting back quickly is Perks. Been impressive all day today. Oh, makes a bucket load of time for himself.
He made space just for himself, didn't he?
Goes into Hawks, takes the mark and plays on immediately, and they go out to the far side. There's little Ryan, right on the wing. Left foot, trying to find Heisman and does. Working hard is Heisman. Brings it back inside. Ethan Nordell. Yes. On the chest.
Might have been a bit for quiet in the first quarter, but by G, he's made some... By G again, Magger. He's made some improvements in this game, and he's been playing extremely well.
Gorda took the mark on his chest off Nordell, and now it's with Jack Wright. Jack Wright goes right across there to the left back pocket, back to Ethan Nordell. They're just playing with them now. Same possession. This could work against them. Jack Wright brought to ground. What's the umpire going to say? Says, I'll have it. 25 metres out, dead in front of the Bulldogs' goal. They're going to ball it up for cashforcans.com.
Pitch Bain comes off through the Harvey Norman interchange bench.
Here's Gilchrist on the right boot, snaps through. He's got his second for the day.
Tell you what, he is a serious contender around these goals, isn't he? Is Fraser Gilchrist. We're going to mark that down for a contender too, are we, mate?
Yeah, well, it was another one. It was another one just like the other one that he's kicked, so we may as well. He reminds me a little bit of Stevie Milner around the goals, just Fraser Gilchrist.
And there's not a lot in this game of footy.
No.
Modern day footy, you can come back, have a look at Kerry Park at HBL last night.
Yeah.
Just the difference in that. So Bunbury would like their chances.
Absolutely, and on the LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard, it's Bunbury 5-6-36 to South Bunbury 8-9-57. They stay in touch. They are just 21 points behind. Another couple here, Craney, and she's on.
Yeah, look.
They haven't given it away, and they've kept the ball in their half of the ground for the last 6-7 minutes.
Intruder into the commentary box.
Yes.
Someone should have locked that door, Macca.
They're just keeping an eye on you. Ball one down by Hawkins. Parsons goes to pick it up. That was a ball up for Hyundai. End of year financial sailors King. Handball off to Hawks. They're inside 50 now. Big fist by Heisman. Pretty clever. If he can get to it, Parsons, he can't. Versace. Rocco Versace's been Rocco solid. Comes out to Clark. Back to Versace. Just poises now. Gets it back to Owen. He goes up to the wing. Chitty comes at it hard. Out on the full. Just come off the boot. The umpire's called it. Rocco solid. Working good. Ball comes into the corridor. They're all trying to take grabs now. Galloway gets after it. Brought to ground. And they wrap it up. But this quarter has been played predominantly in Bunbury's
Yeah, you
half.
just get the feeling Bunbury are working, aren't they? They're working very hard.
Yes. Parsons
working their way back
keeps
into
Horsman's out of it. Owens head over the footy. Stenhouse for company. Big tackle by Hall. Now it comes out to Ryan. Right foot over the shoulder. Gorder, the security blanket, just waiting back there as he always does.
Vance Burton, very good pose in the goal square then too from the goal umpire. Like the way he did that.
He drove it out, but Bunbury are going to turn it over again. They bring it inside to the hot spot. There's no one there. Big fist by the Tigers. Siska can't get it off the deck. Here comes Clark. He's got Andrews for company. Gets a foot to it. That was good by Clark.
It was.
Knew he was going to get tackled. Chitty, handball out. Here's Hall. He's dangerous. Goes back to Hawks. Liked this game until he fumbled that one.
It is a good game of footy. It's
the
just
pressure's on. Both sides. If they haven't got the
feels
ball,
like a 1 point ball game, doesn't it?
both sides. If you haven't got the ball in hand, there's still pressure coming the other way. Ball comes back into play for cashforcans.com. One down by Parsons. They can pick it up here. They're half a chance. Picked up by Clark. Handballed it looking for the boundary line. Intercepted. Oh, umpires found a free kick without the footy. And it's going to Hall.
Right in front of the South Bunbury coach and penalty.
That means it's definitely a free kick if you're prepared to blow the whistle there. Hall goes long to the teeth of goal. Horton flies. No one can mark. Off the deck is Cormac. He's off to the races. Goes long with a drop punt down the members' wing. Tucker can't take the mark. Lane. Courage personified. But picking up the footage, Ashworth. Parsons can't mark and he's held without the football. Cormac played on immediately.
It's gone
long for goal. McGinley from long range bounced it over the pack and the Tigers have got back-to-back goals and it's on here like Donkey Kong.
The Bulldogs have got back-to-back goals, even Marin.
Bulldogs.
That'd be a contender for WA Carbon Supermarket. Goal of the day by Jordan McGinley. Everyone else stopped a little bit to have a look around. He didn't. He just went straight for home, and this game absolutely on, Mackie. You could just feel Bunbury building into something, couldn't you?
Well, they believe now, for sure they do. It's 6-6-42 to 8-9-57 on the LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard. Craney, that margin's closing up, and Bunbury are absolutely flying.
But we said that before, didn't we, at the start, that Bunbury was starting to win contests around the ground a little bit more. So the goals are just going to come if you can keep your composure.
Ball's going to go up for Hyundai. End of year financial sale. Big Smith wins it down this time with intent. Putting their head over the football was McGinley, the goal kicker. Handballs it back to Parsons. Good little handball out to Borlini. Borlini goes to the top of 50. Strong mark to Gorder. Gosh, this is just on a
The
nice
Bulldogs
edge.
have nullified Smith's influence on the game a little bit.
Absolutely.
We spoke about that at half-time. They'd come up with a bit of a plan.
Gorder gave it to Owens. Owens back to Gorder. Waldrett just behind centre wing. Thought about giving it to Cormac, but he had McGinley for company. So he's come across to Bain, who's sitting out here on his own. Hasn't made any ground, just pushed it closer to the white line.
Bunbury have pushed a lot of people back, which is closing them up, which they're doing very well.
Bain goes up and Parsons comes out and takes an intercept defensive mark as the siren goes here at three-quarter time. And on the LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard, it's Bunbury 6-6-42, trailing the Tigers 8-9-57. 15-point ball game here at Payne Park.
Yeah. She is an absolute beauty. And I tell you what, that quarter just started to build the momentum again. A terrific game of football we have on our hands for SEN Spirit. And we'll be back after the break for the final quarter of the game. And welcome back to Payne Park for SEN Spirit's coverage of the Southwest Football League. Derby day in the Southwest, and it has not disappointed so far. Bunbury 6-5-41, trailed South Bunbury 8-10-58. And just when we thought South Bunbury was starting to move away with the Derby, the Bulldogs fought back. Just a quick around the grounds thanks to Geograph Civil. And Donnybrook have defeated the Collie Eagles 13 goals, 886 to 10 goals, 262. And Jared O'Brien just sent me a picture of him camped up, watching TV with his beautiful new caravan. And he was spruiking that he picked up a tip yesterday. Well, he just lost it again today, Macca. And Eton, 10 goals, 6-66. They lead the Harvey Bulls 8-8-56. So a pretty good contest out at Glen Ewan.
Yeah.
With this one, we have an absolute beauty. For the goal kickers for Bunbury, Dylan Heisman has 2. Fraser Gilchrist has 2. McGinley has 1. And Andrews has 1. And for South Bunbury, Nordell 2. Jai Clark 2. Singles to Nordell Bodie. Cade Waldrott, Jay Wright and Tom Smith. Very interesting third quarter that the Bulldogs threw a fair bit at South. South went down and kicked a couple of goals, but you could sense the Bulldogs working their way back into that contest.
Absolutely.
And finished with a bit of flurry, and they started to win the ball out of the contest, Mac.
Absolutely, yes. South out of the blocks in that third quarter, and it looked like South by how far, but then suddenly they worked their way back into the contest through sheer will, retaining possession. I mentioned that Denham King and Darcy Tucker were just receiving these little short passes around the place. So just denying South Bunbury the ball and then going long to the hot spot and letting the little fellas do the work on the ground, and they're able to hit back with a few good goals.
Absolutely. What can we expect? Only time will tell.
If it's anything like the last 4 years.
Yeah, wonder if Bunbury will steal it this year, Mac.
Possibly.
It is game on. Players back into positions for the start of the final quarter here in what has been a magnificent day of Southwest footy. Good crowd in, who's been totally entertained, and so you should. Skill level has been up. Umpire holds the ball aloft. This is SEN Spirit and Darren McDonald. Final quarter call.
And up they go for Hyundai. It's Parsons and Smith. Smith swings it down. Siska right on it. He's a master of that. Sockers the ball inside 50. Coming out is Nordell. Meets it really clean. Handball off to Gallagher. Good snap over the left shoulder. But waiting in front beautifully was Renton, and he chopped it off for the Tigers. Nordell, Ethan, sock it off the ground. Then Jay Wright gives a handball, a real rocket handball into Siska. He gave it off to a teammate who was absolutely buried in Clark.
Well, Rob wanted to get onto his left there, and that's what happened, Macca.
And now the Bulldogs have come out of attack. Here comes Andrews. Head over the ball. He's followed it. Clark missed him. Andrews still with the football. Picks it up now.
Faint-hearted out there.
Tackled. Smith brings him down. That's the tallest man and the shortest man on the ground going at it.
Gee, I tell you what, there was a bit going on there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Bodies flying everywhere.
Right here on centre wing, right in front of the commentary box. Up they go. One down by Smith. Gets a second hander and only as far as King.
He's come out with a bit of a stinger there in his calf.
He's brought to ground by Bain. Bain had a reasonable game, but hasn't been his normal influential self, I would say. He's taken it now. Handballs it out. Good work. Finds Owen. Owen just drives it. Big up and under. Lane smacked in the air. Maybe could have won a free. Good work there by Ashworth. Gets it out of the pack. They're going at it, these players. Lane just somehow gets the ball forward. Coming at its Perks. Oh, couldn't quite keep it in play. It's out on the full, and Big Smith.
And there's a specky by the man on the fence.
And Smith brings the ball back in. What's the umpire
He even
saying?
lost his hat in the contest there. Do we give him an award?
Yeah, absolutely.
Best spoil of the day?
Yeah. Smith. Plate goes long now, inside 50. They set themselves, they fly. Nordell can't mark. Comes to Bain. Doesn't quite get good connection, but coming out is right.
Oh.
Takes the one-hander, plays on outside of the right boot. Tigers get first blood in the last.
I tell you what do we put that down? Because that was a terrific mark, but that goal was outstanding.
Put them down for both, Crane.
I think you'll have to.
WA Carpet Supermarket goal of the day and CPR Outdoors mark of the day.
Gee, he did well with his body. Been good all day, actually, Jay.
Just
right?
with his pressure.
Well, he's
second efforts.
He's been been short of big Blaine Johnson down there, so they needed some forward line pressure.
I'd be giving him another go.
And Jay Wright's done that. He's taken that responsibility on. He's worked extremely hard to keep that ball into the forward line, and that was pretty much. It'd have to be close to mark of the day, or goal of the day, or contender of the day, or the Buckingham Butcher's big moment. We'll give him whatever you want.
I was going to say Robin's doing very well without Batman today.
Well, there you go.
Batman being Johnson. Up they go. One down beautifully by Smith. Coming through and soccering it is Waldrett. Hard at it. With him is Tucker. They both fight hard. Getting it off the ground was Waldrett. Got it off to Clark. Ball moves forward. It's come back there to Cormac. Cormac gives it to Chitty. Back to Cormac, hard up against the boundary line. Underneath the scoreboard they go. Comes back into the corridor. The ball eludes them all. Parsons, an ugly handball in, but it's going to work out all right for Andrews. Tackled, then somehow gets loose. Comes out to the wing to no one in particular. Getting after it is Gilchrist. Good work by that player. Stops, props, right foot. Parsons can't pick it up. Can't mark it. Oh, a bit of candy and then spins Galloway out of trouble. Goes inside 50. They fly. Horton can't mark. Hasn't been his day. Off the deck for Tucker. South Bunbury defend well. Oh, it's comedy of errors. It's come out to Gorda. Oh, they're dribbling their way out of trouble.
That was a clever kick by Gorda, though. He meant to keep that down.
Galloway got it to Smith. Couldn't mark. Gallagher's got his head over the football. Andrews with him. Really good work by Bilsich. Tried to keep it in, or pretend to keep it in, and there'll be a throw in.
Yeah, there's grubbers and there's grubbers, but actually Tommy meant that one.
He did.
If he had lifted it up, he would have been in trouble, so he kept it along the ground.
So we have ball in at right half forward for the Bulldogs. They've got a bit of work to do if they're going to win this one. Parsons and Smith, one down by Parsons. Ball's just gone a big up and under. Cormac stands underneath, or Versace it was, and smashes it. Oh, here's Andrews again, twisting and turning. Drives it hard up against the boundary line. Owens goes the fist. Horsman back to Owens. Heisman, he tries to centre it up. Barraclough can't get there in time. Ball bounces. And then Jack Wright pushes it over the line.
You love the shape of our footy, Macco. It does all sorts of things.
You're always in the game because of the shape of our footy. The late, great Steve Innes, my 95 premiership, told me that. Premiership coach. Not with us anymore. R.I.P. Steve. Ball comes back into play. Big fist. Parsons can't quite get a handle on it. Ball spills up and South Bunbury are away. 2 bounces. Big left foot. Waldrett spots up. Is that Nordal? No, it's Jack Wright. Jay Wright. He's playing better and better as the game goes on. Chitty in a mile of space. Takes a mark, then decides to hold it up. Goes to play on. Umpire says play on now. Back to Wright by hand. He goes over the top. Finds Waldrett. Left pocket, left foot.
Doesn't
that
mind
is a stunner! Waldrett, he just loves those moments.
Oh, that an outstanding goal. Actually, it's pretty well worked by South all up, wasn't it? The South Bunbury side. Kevin Chitty was thinking about pass and keep time to play on. Jay Wright involved once again. And Cade Waldrett, well, are we putting him down? Gee, we've got a few contenders.
WA Carpet Supermarket, love that one from Cade Waldrett.
We've got a few contenders today.
Tell you what, Craney, 1, 2, 3, 4 multiple goal kickers for the Tigers. They're sharing it around.
The use of the footy, the way they're using the footy has been outstanding. It's been a bit critical of their use of the footy over the first part of this season, but as you said, playing against the top side, maybe that brings out the best in some.
Cade Waldrett loves these last quarter lessons, doesn't he?
They put a bit of pressure back
he's
on
played
that.
He's played a lot through the middle of the ground today, which he hasn't done for the last few seasons, and I've liked his game.
This year he's played quite a bit through there with Lockie Riley heading off.
So the umpires found a free kick going the way of the Tigers, Bulldogs. Tucker received a handball from Woods. He goes out wide. Heisman drops what he should have taken. Diving mark gathers though, recovers well
though.
Working inside the boundary line, kicks it to the top of the square. Parsons brings it to ground. Barraclough's there, picks it up, holds it up, waves it. It's intercepted by Owens, gives it to Gorda. Oh, Gorda handballed it into the post. Play on. What's the umpire said?
That's going to be interesting because he actually handballed in.
Definitely a point. Handballed it into the post.
Did he mean to?
Well, he'll say he didn't, obviously, but I think he might have.
Where's that number 10 water boy? Right in front of us.
So here he goes, long down the centre of the ground. Horsman stands underneath, can't mark. Made a good fist of it, though.
He's had a pretty good day, has Ben Horsman.
And it's just held up at just inside the centre square forward for the Bulldogs. Up they go again. One down by Smith, taken by Bain. Spirals it out of the pack, and there's Bodie Nordal, liked his day. Gets a handball over the top to Cormac. Away he goes. Right foot, spear into right. Wowee. That was electric.
Jay Wright really come of age today, hasn't he?
Has he what? So he's 45-degree angle right side
This
for
is Harvey
a
Norman
left
interchange
footer.
bench lined up in front of us here.
He's going to have a shot from probably just outside the paint, I reckon, Craney. In he comes. Gets to the white line and lets go on the right boot.
Oh.
Umpire does not move. Jay Wright, you star. Number 3 for the day.
Yeah, and well-deserved number 3. I tell you what, that's a fairly handy roost in the last quarter when you've done a fair bit of legwork, and he's going to come straight to the bench after that effort. The Harvey Norman interchange bench.
And on the right Nemeth scoreboard, it's Bunbury 6-7-43 and South Bunbury 11-10-76. Seem to have control now, Alan.
Well, they were challenged, weren't they, the Tigers? They got off to a fairly handy lead, but they put the foot on the accelerator a bit coming into this last quarter, and they pushed away to a very handy lead, Macca.
Jay Wright, back-to-back goals. Sorry, not back-to-back goals. Waldrett had one in between that, but, geez, he's been impressive. Just like getting out on the lead now and taking the mark, but his pressure work is where his game has stemmed from.
But to be fair to him, he's on the good side for a right footer there, Macca.
He's a left footer he was. Right side for a left. And Nordal lays a tackle. Coming in over the top is Smith, who set the game up for the Tigers. Been nullified in this second half. Woods and Smith go at it. Smith wins it. Bain tries to streak through and then hacks the ball out of the air. Away they go. Lane can't mark. Taken off the deck by Gallagher. He's wrapped up. I'll tell you what the other difference Smith has made. It's given the South Bunbury midfielders the confidence to run through at the stoppage because they know he's going to win the knock. Really good. Mataboni has the ball at half forward. Ball comes inside 50 for the Bulldogs. And then there's a soccer off the deck. Umpire says the Bulldogs player is held without it. And that is...
Clark come up
Who is that? That's Lamanaka.
Tell you what, the worry for the Bulldogs
Lamonica.
Clark looks absolutely no
Jai
good.
Clark, ankle.
No good at all.
No, he's in all sorts.
He's had a bit of trouble with that ankle.
Lamonica in the meantime's hit Gilchrist up inside 50 and he'll shoot from just inside, almost dead in front.
He's had a pretty good day too. Gilchrist aimed for number 3.
Yep. In he comes to keep the Bulldogs in the game. He lets fly from the paint. And just to the near side he misses. That breeze not really doing, not much of a factor.
Joy Clark is putting a little bit of weight on that. He's getting closer to the bench, but still doesn't look
not a great sign.
all that good.
The Harvey Norman interchange bench. Ball comes back into play.
Joe Wright had a quick rest anyway because he's back on.
Galloway received a foot pass.
He's putting more and more weight as he's getting closer to the dugout.
Good. And then there's a good intercept
mark
out there by Parsons.
Good young player, Parsons.
He tells him he's going to go long, and that's exactly what he does. And good intercept there, almost held on by Owen. Now it's picked up by Nordal. Back to Owen. They're tackling red hot. Hawks brings a man to ground, and they're going to ball it up 35 metres out, dead in front of the Bulldogs' goal. They need one here, Alan.
They do, just give themselves a bit of confidence. We spoke about confidence, or you spoke about confidence half a minute ago. It plays an enormous part in the game of footy.
One down by Horton.
That's a brilliant handball.
And away goes Cormac down the outer side. Brings it back into the corridor cleverly to Hawkins. Takes the mark. Handballs back to Cormac, and he's brought to ground. Chitty, and he's brought to ground. That's taken there by Field. Drives it back inside with the Bulldogs. They fly. They're going at it. All the players have not stopped making a contest.
We spoke about holding pressure for full games, and it normally drops off. Well, this game hasn't.
No, it hasn't. It's been fantastic. Horton wins this knock inside 50 for the Tigers, but only went as far as Gorder, who hacked it out of the air. Coming now and working extremely hard are the Tigers. That was Sawyer who got it to Versace. Versace handballed to Jay Wright. Back to Sawyer, who's run on. He now goes off the outside of the boot looking for Bodie Nordell. It gets hit to him eventually by Waldrett. Now they go backwards to where he's got Cormac all on his own. Cormac then sets it up, sends it to the hot spot. They fly! Big mark! That's a real contender for the CP Outdoors mark of the day. Big Smith is going to get up and go back and have a shot for his second.
I actually agree with you. I think Smith had first hand. Tyson Lane's going to have
Lane's
the shot.
got the mark.
Yeah, I thought Smith
He was hiding behind the light post.
I thought Smith had first hands on that, but obviously not. Gallagher just come to the bench too with looked like a bit of an ankle problem too. So SKG going to be a bit busy this evening.
So right in front, Lane, right foot, chips, pokes at it, and hits the point post. He's one bloke that's tried today, contested, but hasn't had the best of days.
Yeah, I think that's been his season, but he shows enough that it's only just not far away, I think.
So Perks, long down the corridor. That's the way it's got to be for Bunbury now. It's got to be fast play. Parsons knocks it. They manage to get it out through Tucker. Hawkins head over the footy. Gathered there beautifully by Owen. Liked his game as it's gone on. Hacks it down the corridor. It's back inside 50 for the Tigers, but running out of there is King. Caught as he kicks it. Ball lands to no one in particular because of that. Here's Johnson for the Bulldogs. Gets it to Stenhouse. He can't pick it up. It's too hot for him. Comes back to Bain. Bain puts a pass back into the hot spot. Smith can't take it. Bilsich did exceptionally well. Perks gathers. Brings it out here to the members' side. But there's no one home for the Bulldogs. And a mark to Bodie Nordell. And he'll have a chance for his second.
Gee, it's going to be hard picking best players here this afternoon because
well and truly
every player has had a fair dinkum dip.
Yeah. Bodie Nordell, probably a bit worse than 45. Will shoot from just inside 50. Now help me out, Alan. Right side for a right footer.
You confused me the first time.
Here he goes, off that favoured right foot. It's going to sit to the top of the square. And the umpire's found a free kick, shepherding out. It's going to go to the Bulldogs. And kick to be taken by Johnson. He actually took a mark, so I don't know how was shepherding out. Anyway, he goes cross, finds Perks. Can't say anything bad about his game. He's been terrific. He got it to field. Comes out to Tucker. Tucker takes the ball and takes off. Goes down the line. He finds Andrews. Chest mark. Takes off now. Versace tries he might. Can't get him. Still doesn't give up. Had a bounce. Andrews drives it to the top of the square. No one can mark. That was really good work by the defence in Galloway. Spits it out to Gorta. And Gorta sees Owens all on the wing on his own.
I agree
and takes
with you with
him
Owens. He's worked into the game nicely. Takes a while, doesn't it, to start going, but had a very reasonable day.
He goes back into the
nice
corridor.
Spot up too.
Hawkins all on his own.
Oh, they're running everywhere.
And there's Jay Wright. Takes a mark, getting plenty of space and all. Handballs over the top to Sawyer, and Sawyer's got Cormac all on his own. Pressure just starting to drop off now, Ellen.
Yeah, they found plenty of pace going down that other side. When you've got a side that's prepared to run, it's confidence, Macca. You know,
yeah.
Confidence grows with players. When you look at the player and think he's going to get it, you actually move forward. It's when you haven't got that confidence in your partner that you sort of wait that half a second to see whether he's going to get it or not.
So here we go. He's going to shoot from about 35 metres out. He's almost dead in front, Jace Cormac. This should be like shelling peas for this man. In he comes. And like we've seen a million times before, he's made the umpire work and missed.
Now, number 10 water
he
bottle.
He needs to give me an apology after the game.
Number 10 water boy, Macca, Sean Crane, has just delivered 2 drinks. So that's 5 for the afternoon that he's delivered.
Well, he's got a crook leg. Leave him alone. As Matabone gathers the football, handballs it off. Owens goes on the left boot, drives it inside, looking for Nordell,
that's
but
a
good
great grab.
saving mark back there for the Bulldogs.
That's Perks
that was
again,
Perks.
I think.
Yep, Perks. That'd be a contender.
Absolutely.
And then he's got it to Hall in the back pocket. Comes up the ground, taken there by Ryan.
This is going to be a big win by South Bunbury too in the context of this season.
SKG could be a bit busy after this with a few scans
There's
too.
a few ankles that have gone into a few problems.
Ball now with Cormac, who's getting busy in this last quarter. Handballs to Siska underground, and he can't pick it
Jace
up.
nearly confused himself there, didn't he?
So there we a ball up just over in front of the right Nemeth scoreboard, which currently reads Bunbury 6-8-44 to South Bunbury 11-12-78.
Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB is
Free
there.
kick, Craney. It's gone to Siska.
Take you around the ground shortly, thanks to Geograph Civil, after Siska drops it into Waldrop.
He does. And Waldrop at the top of 50, 45-degree angle right side for a left footer, and that's what he is, Craney. And we know he's got the leg from
I'm
there
onto
too.
you now, mate.
We know he's got the leg from there. He's going back a couple of paces. This could be special, Alan. Oh, he's been marched. They've given away a 50. Not sure what for. I think there was a bit of a hullabaloo in the contest, which...
The old hullabaloo, Macca. You can't afford a hullabaloo.
There was
Jared O'Brien's even laughing and sitting back watching the telly.
Forming in the goal square, and a Bulldogs player's given away there. And Waldrett just absolutely puts a nail in the coffin there of the Bulldogs, and easily puts that away. And that is his third for the day, 2 for this quarter. Liked his work through the middle of the ground, been very hard working.
Yeah, you can't afford any of those hullabaloos. Let's go around the ground thanks to Geograph Civil. Eaton 12.
Craney's lost it. He's
12
lost
goals,
it.
9-81. Lead the Harvey Bulls 10-8-68. So a good game happening out at Glen Ewan Oval. And Donnybrook 13-8-86 have defeated the Collie Eagles 10 goals to 62. And after all that hullabaloo, we have South Bunbury have moved away.
Craney's fallen out of his chair, folks. If I have to take us home from here, that's the reason why. He's lost the plot.
That's good. Getting a bit dull here too at Payne Park, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Turn the lights on the right Nemeth scoreboard. It's Bunbury 6-8-44 to South Bunbury 12-12-84 as the ball's
Nice
gone up.
tap.
One down for Hyundai by the Bulldogs and kicked inside by King. But a very good mark, defensive mark to the Tigers. Gorda.
He's been a major pickup for the Tigers, Galloway.
Yes. Gorda
Played
pushes
last year,
it out.
of course, and has slotted into this unit very nicely.
Finds Matakaboni.
Who's another young player, young Colts player.
Brings it inside to Galloway. Galloway says, I'm going to go long down this member's wing. And he does, and it's a beautiful drop punt. They all set themselves. The Johnson flies couldn't take it. Lane's there, Baines there.
Lane and Bain together.
At Payne Park.
There you go, Macca. It's getting late in the day, isn't it?
They're going to throw it up right in front of the interchange steward's box. Throw it in, rather, for cashforcans.com. Away they go. One down there by Hawkins. Spits out to Owens. Good handball to Bain. Side step. Tackled by Barraclough. Here's Chitty. Head over the footy. Barraclough recovered the ball really well for the Bulldogs. Puts it up high. It's a tiger fest as they all stood under it and raffled it. Horsman. He's got Sawyer in a mile of space. And Bodie Nordell's there with him too if he needs him. But Sawyer has a bounce. And another. Handball's now over to Bodie. Bodie swings around. Left side. Goes back on his right boot. Inside finds... Who is it off to put the glasses up? It's Hawkins.
He's had a pretty decent day too. Joined the club from Kalgoorlie, I think, Mac, and sort of working his way into Southwest Footy League.
He's been good as the second ruck today.
Well, it changes the dynamic when you go from league to league, so it always takes you a bit of time to adjust.
Well, you've got to get used to grounds with grass on them for a start. I've played a few seasons out in the goldfields. They don't call it gravel rash for nothing. In you come from 45. Hawkins lets go on his right boot, dead in front. Pack forms. Lane, the big double grabber. And there's a contender for the CP Outdoors mark of the day.
He's got a couple of them. Hope you're remembering all that. I've jotted a few down for you, Mac.
Right side for a right footer. Around the corner, across the face. No daylight to speak of. And it's a one behind to the Tigers. Ball to be brought into play by Perks. Finds a teammate out under the scoreboard. Late in the day now. It's Bill Sitch. Gets a handball over to teammate. Oh, they muck it up now. That was Perks again. Fields back to Perks. Eventually, or nearly, they get out of trouble through Barraclough. Barraclough, a spearing pass into the middle of the ground, finds Easman. Good mark below his knees. Fires around that right boot. Parsons, no, it's Woods. Can't mark, picks it up. Good handball to Borlini running past, but he could not take it. And it's tied up just inside 50 for the Bulldogs. Borlini be kicking himself there. Woods did a lot of hard work. So Woods, it's one down by Horsman. Ball spills out, Barraclough.
Into everything, Barraclough.
Up and down it goes. Still fighting on. King lays the tackle. That was on Jack Wright. Jay Wright. No, Jack Wright. And up they go. I'll get it right. One down there by
It's that
Parsons.
left and right that's got you.
Oh, King knocked off it as he kicked the ball. It gets a big fly there by Gorder. First to get it off the deck as well and handballs it forward. Away they go, the Tigers. It's wrapped up just inside 50. Umpire lets it go. Now he's going to ball it up. It's still ferocious. They're 40 points down and it's still ferocious.
And that'd be the pleasing thing for both coaches, Troy Hollins and Julian Burgess. You never say never.
Up they go.
Well, you do say never, I suppose.
One
That's a
down
silly
by
saying,
Parsons. Ball's tied up again. Tackles left, right and centre from Bunbury Mower Service, Craney. Big tackling day
It's going to
today.
be hard to find the best tackle for Bunbury Mower Service.
I hope you've written a few down.
And that is it, Macca.
There she blows. And on the W Day Foundation Day weekend here at Payne Park for the Bunbury Derby, South Bunbury 12-13-85 have taken the sword to Bunbury 6-8-44 and won by 41 points, and the scoreboard would not be indicative of how the game was played, Alan.
Fantastic game of football between two terrific football sides. We're going to be back after the break to wrap it all up.
The Wright and Emmett scoreboard.